every Thursday. The scene is set in the realm of thoughts where minds are met. They're the thinkers with brains on the brink. Every Thursday they're doing a thing with that dark kitty as the fearless lead. And fought through by her side, they plant the seed with Dorkus guiding through dungeons deep. And Grey Coupe spreads it on steep. Nemo's crush goes like magic in the air. Depressed Hydra's expertise beyond compare. Charles manages the box office with grace. Follow the guests out to the lively space in a world of thoughts where minds collide. The thinkers gather their wits as their guide. From deep contemplation to laughter's embrace. Every Thursday is their special place.
Welcome to the special place.
Hola.
Stinker power activate.
Hopefully we'll be able to educate ourselves in a special fashion.
Yeah. Good night, Stug.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, hell
Stug
yeah,
is using the commission that I made for him.
That is a
Oh,
brilliant.
I love it.
Brilliant.
You made
My
that.
favorite. Yes, I made that. It's one of my
Aw.
favorite drawings.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Did he put the flag in the back, or did you?
oh, it was his idea, but I made the whole thing.
Love it.
Love it.
Emperor
Guys.
Pilaf running for president.
Yeah, guys. Commission stuff from BMO. You know he's an artiste. Yes,
PR.
Charles is alive, guys. He's a whole alive human.
I tried to die, but
Hey, you're not allowed to do that.
Can't do anything right. I'm very happy to have Charles back. And,
Good to be back.
And BMO. He wasn't here a little bit. So, yeah. Anyway, we're here, thinkers. Think hers. Hey,
Oh,
Galente, I'm what's her name? Close to you in the stars because my birthday's in 4 days. Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Oh,
Yeah,
Beautiful.
So we're
guys ovulating
yeah,
together?
you're a Gemini. Oh,
Yeah.
Good spirits.
Wow. Hey, let's do an astrology thing right now.
It's almost like astrology actually means something and is not complete made up bullshit.
Thinkers with a hard R. Oh my god, creamage.
Yeah, man, I'll
Yeah,
take that
guys.
hard R.
So today, look, we do have breaking news. Well, it's not really breaking. It's for me, it's breaking because I haven't been online much. But the topic isn't about Elon Musk and Trump. I understand, but I do want to talk to you guys about it. What the hell is happening with it? There's a video we could watch for a sec from our friend of the channel, Ben Shapiro.
oh, it's the same video I watched.
Okay.
It's
But-
a pretty good summation, honestly.
Is it? Okay.
I don't know you. It's my person.
Because it looks like a nice raw video. No, never mind. They got the. Yeah. So you guys want to do that? Thinker,
Sure.
please. Great. But oh yes.
Love it.
Anything else? Look, we have a Charles that is somewhat nursed back to health. I'm medicated, so we're
The
good.
hat is medicated.
How is everybody else?
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
self-medicated just fine.
Definitely.
we're
With
operating on at least 33% opium, so we're okay.
Oh, that's good.
We're not sleeping with the fishes.
33% of the panel, or
Yes.
You see,
okay.
I'm self-medicating in a way that I don't need. Charles is like legitimately medicating in a way that's necessary.
Like absolutely. Yeah.
Nah.
Anti-
this new mod only chat feature is neat, right?
Good old. Wow. There will never be a wrench war again.
No, you know what? It'll be at a later stage because there's so many old mods that might come in and be like, "Hey, I'm still a mod here." Okay. Yeah. So, but
Hell, I remember when I first got my wrench.
Mhm.
It was purely off of the wrench wars voting bullshit. I think only people liked my name. I'd barely participated in chat. And then the next stream, I fucking showed up late in chat. And I said, sorry, I'm late. And you were like, Calente, how dare you be late? You know what? All right, poll right now. Does Galente deserve to lose his wrench?
I gotta
Hunty
start
is
doing that to
racist.
my mods.
I'm not
Because
gonna lie, I
Hunty-
missed the wrench wars.
You should, yeah. Make them. What's the name? We get copyright
Put 'em on
struck
our
for the
toes.
Wrench Wars video.
What?
It sucks because it's got a bit of Mad Max in it.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it
unfortunate.
really sucks, and it's got my face there in the back for notes.
Hey, a hunty.
Yeah. So and WZ, hi. He's also not a mod. So there we go, guys. As soon as I'm glad that we got like 3 people.
Yeah,
That's
WZ
great.
and Hunty
Very
broke
well.
the trend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gray is a mod. Okay. Mod and a member. Hello. Gray, my goat. The goat! Sorry. Give me some more Hunty or
Hey,
Dildo.
dice.
Actually, Dildo is a good Dildo and Creamage are really good mods because they know how to be trolls as well. So
Why
like
did they have to be named Dildo and Creamage though?
because that's exactly why. That's the kind of people that have to be mods in my chat.
Ah, my mods, Dildo and Creamage.
In pride he shall rise. Well, now his camera's off. Das, you chased him away. He's gone. Zaxx will be around later on. So
Alrighty.
keep your notes if you have a question. Kitty, the #1 Peterson stan. I suppose I am. But anyway, guys, just before we get onto the actual topics, shall we talk about this Trump Elon thing? I think all the South Africans are going to get
Sure.
yeeted out of America now.
Well,
'Cause,
they're white. Don't worry yet.
Okay. Yet. I'll worry when you tell me, okay?
Like all
That's how
200
worried
South Africans.
Yeah, there's only 200. We are a very large expat community, okay? Especially over here. So, okay, here we go.
Woo! So, what the hell is going on? That is the question on everybody's mind. Obviously, Elon Musk and President Trump are now going at it like cats
Just gonna steal his
and
intro.
dogs. And
Woo!
Woo!
Why does he always sound clogged up?
Oh my gosh.
He sounds like he was told, "Hey, there's breaking news. Get out of bed and record."
No, he's got a nice shirt on. Is that how he sleeps?
I'm
There've
betting
been a lot
that
of
is how he sleeps.
He throws some just for men in his beard there. That's interesting.
I have
Speculate.
no idea what the drama is between Elon and Trump, but I'm curious to see if my prediction is actually coming true. It'll be lovely. We'll see.
Okay, let's. Well, do you know?
No, I know nothing about this drama. My prediction about Elon and Trump is that Trump brought in Elon to be a bit of a frontman / scapegoat. And the second that he becomes inconvenient, Elon's just going to be kind of like tossed to the side to some extent.
And you don't do that to Elon.
Well, you also don't fucking coattail the executive leader of the United States. I mean, there are lots of people that Elon himself wouldn't do that with that are in lower political stations if he knew what was better for him. But yeah, it's a dangerous game, and I feel like he just put himself in the center of the target for blame and a lot of issues. So, we'll see.
What is BMO giving us here? Quick, throw the government waste into the volcano.
This is USA, didn't they?
That's cute, man.
It's good old Fantastic.
No. But yeah,
Feels
have
different.
you seen the other one with the train? You know, where it's like Doge spending cuts, and then it's like the bus is over there, so it's Doge's spending cuts, and then the bus the train comes through. I need to find it of the big bill.
I don't know this one.
Oh, I need to find
Come
it.
on, you know the meme. The train destroying the truck or whatever.
You know, seriously, I know you're making a joke.
I'm not.
right, but
It's the one.
It's the
I
one.
I
Actually,
just
like-
sound like I'm always mking people. I
I
swear I'm
do.
I
not.
think I actually know
the
what you're
famous one.
referring to. It's the yellow bus being hit by a train,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the yellow
Okay.
bus.
Well, I mean, you want it
As
to be
opposed
school
to a
bus,
purple
don't
one.
you? Yeah.
Where is
It
it?
took a second for my
bookmarks are so
adult brain
cool.
to register what the hell you were talking about.
Oh,
But is
I-
anyone actually surprised? Like, is there anyone that's been long term like an ally or partner with Trump? Like, doesn't it
No.
always
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
end
at
that
all.
way?
No.
Yeah, usually.
Oh, I can't find it.
This is why I'm super excited for these 4 years to end and the 2-year term limit to,
Is it a short bus?
I was waiting for
4
you to make
years.
an Auschwitz joke with it when you kept talking about the train, but like, I mean,
Oh, gee.
Oh,
See, that's on
God.
you. No,
Timo,
we're just
that's
talking
you.
memes here.
That's your brain. Jeez.
hey, that could be funny though.
Yeah,
It
for
could
you.
be, but that's
yeah,
dark.
for me. Of course. I didn't say it was okay. I just said it would be funny.
The real Charles is
What's up?
is having a good time. You also laugh at that one, hey? You know, because you're that kind of Jewish person.
I groaned.
That
Sound.
Hey, I'll take
for a long
groanings.
time that this marriage would never quite last. You're talking about the world's richest man
Okay, well, you guys are saying that it wouldn't have lasted because it's Trump.
versus the world's most powerful man. You're talking about two men who combined made President Trump president. Obviously, most of that is President Trump, but Elon's weight was not insignificant in the last election cycle. You're talking about a coalition between tech and sort of blue collar workers. There are a lot of issues at play, but I want to break down what exactly is going on along three lines. There is the political, there's the business, and then there is the personal. So
Yeah, and the personal is really big when it comes to Trump as well.
That pause game is on point, by the way.
I know. I keep getting his eyes in the really the greatest position. Lucifer, hi. I hope you enjoyed your kayaking, guys. Lucifer's pictures from kayaking are just
Are
incredible.
gorgeous.
I don't
So
know why
jealous.
you even ever go online. Honestly. Oh,
BC
so-
is amazing. I'm
He's
jealous of everything that
opinionated.
Lucifer has going.
yeah.
let's start with
What?
No, it's fine. The freeze frame is gone. The joke is lost.
political. So Elon's term in office came to an end. There's a statute on the books that says that you're basically not allowed to work inside the White House for longer than 130 days without some sort of waiver or without some sort of clearance. And Elon ran out that time. As I said on the air, I thought that what he did during that time was quite incredible. He put his companies on hold. He took a major stock hit. He took a major brand hit in order to come into the government and try to root out waste, fraud, and abuse through the Department of Governmental.
Okay. Do we think that? Did he get a
tried.
brand
Sure.
hit?
I think he tried.
Yes.
He brought in big balls. He did what he could do.
Mm-hmm. He
I
tried.
think we.
Hey, Sherry. Guys, have a look at Sherry. Good
Mm.
morning, Sherry.
Oh my
Hi,
jeez.
Sherry. Yeah, looking good. But I feel like there's a lot of weight being carried by the colloquialism of putting his business on hold.
Mhm.
It sounds like all production and operations were stopped when he says like he could
But
put
he-
his production on hold.
At this
Um,
point, he doesn't. Yeah, what does he even do in those businesses? Like,
Well, I'm sure he does have some like significant tangible effect while he is there working.
Yes.
But
Mm.
at the same time, if he's not there working, I would assume that he has surrounded himself with competent people that he can at least leave base instructions with
Mhm.
in order for them to like keep production running on a minimalist basis without him.
Yeah.
And that's me being extremely generous to him.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think the company is going to be fine while he focuses his efforts elsewhere. It doesn't mean that he was altruistically ceasing the productivity of his company. So,
Mm.
like, what you
Yeah, so it's
actually
It's
mean,
not that much of a sacrifice, love. Yeah, like he had.
and it feels
If
like
it-
you're putting a lot of weight on that shit.
Well, yeah, because he's like, look, it's a hero. Look what he did.
efficiency.
Mhm.
And Elon came in believing that he would be capable of doing all of that because, if you don't have a lot of time in the government, you always believe, as President Trump believed in his first term, that basically politics runs just like a business should run. Meaning you can come in, you can fix the problems, and then you can move on to the next problem and fix that. You can come in, cut everybody. Elon was doing the kind of thing that Steve Jobs used to do. Steve Jobs, of course, famously used to go into the elevators at Apple, and if he saw an employee, he'd ask them what they did. If they couldn't explain, he would fire them. Elon actually tried to do that exact same thing with the federal employment base. It doesn't work.
Have any of you guys read Steve Jobs's what's the name?
His
Autobiography?
biography?
Yeah.
Nope, but I saw his movie.
My dad reads that once a year.
Jesus.
Why?
Yeah. He loves Steve Jobs.
Why?
Jeez.
He's a business
What's
guy.
there
I
to
guess.
love?
And I think it's just the business stuff. That's
The dress attire.
I assume it wouldn't be like
Oh,
the
my dad's not-
fruitarian part.
the fruit. No, my dad's a carnivore man. He's an Italian. He could never do a fruitarian stuff. Okay, so nobody's read it yet. I need to read it, but so I can at least
Do you?
word about it. Yes, I want to read it. I'll stop reading Marcus Aurelius and
No.
read Steve.
Meditations is far better annual read.
Yes,
Agreed.
true.
Work that way. So Elon was running up against the hard walls of what politics actually looks like. Regulations, bureaucracy, the balance of power with Congress. And within those confines, Elon was doing some pretty astonishing things. I mean, I know people who were working for Doge and with Doge, and what Doge was doing was pretty amazing. Well, in the end, Elon had to leave because his term ran out. And he was unsatisfied with what Doge was able to accomplish, and he was also unsatisfied with the so-called Big Beautiful Bill. Why? Well, because he had spent the last 6 months attempting to cut waste, fraud, and abuse at the federal level. He might have been able to cut $150 billion in waste, fraud, and abuse, but the trillions that he thought he was going to be able to cut, in the end, have to come from Congress. And so he's looking at the Big Beautiful Bill, and he's saying, why does this increase the deficit? My whole raison.
What is included in the Big Beautiful Bill? If you guys,
I don't know.
think about it. Okay.
When I looked
Tax
it up,
cuts
I
for the
saw a lot
rich.
of general stuff.
I think it extends his previous bout of tax cuts that are set to expire.
Which
Oh.
mostly benefit the rich.
I really
Cuts
don't
to
know.
Medicaid. Help to the poor. Cuts to them.
Hmm.
The bill faces internal GOP disputes over Medicaid cuts, local tax deductions, and $350 billion added for border security and defense, risking
Yeah.
collapse before this week's votes. The 1,000, oh my God. Did you read it, Trump? Did you read it, love? 1,100.
If anyone.
Fuck no, he didn't.
Nobody read
Wait,
it.
reading's a part of the job?
I was elected to lead, not to read.
Reflecting Trump's priorities. That's a bit. You know what? The thing about priorities is you can't have too many of them because then
TV?
you don't. Then you don't have priorities.
TV,
Proposes
golf?
Exactly. Tax reductions, trims Medicaid and food assistance programs. Jesus. And reverses his prior commitment on the SALT deduction for New York legislators. In whatever that means for you, Charles, I don't know.
No
I just
salt
hear it.
deductions for New York.
I'm
There
going
will
to
be no losing of salt.
pour salt into the wound, why don't you?
A that's pretty good. A nonpartisan fiscal watchdog group projects that the legislation will increase the national debt by approximately 3.3 trillion over
Is
the
that
next
all?
10 years, while Trump dismissed critics of the bill as fools. Oh well, that works, you know.
Send it
You know
through.
that's always great. As fools, if passed, the bill would move to the Senate amid continued GOP divisions, and Trump expressed confidence in victory despite narrow House support. And I don't think this is going to happen. Do you guys think this? This doesn't sound like like he's got enough support in the GOP.
You're ignorantly optimistic, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am
I-
because
I-
I'm ignorant. Yes.
I feel like just like how he probably didn't read it,
Yeah.
most of the people in Congress are not going to read it.
Plus the name. I mean, this isn't some
beautiful.
run-of-the-mill ugly bill.
It's
It's
so-
the big, beautiful bill.
This reminds me of what was that one huge omnibus package that went through like in the first Trump presidency that was called like the Save Black People's Heritage Act or something like that.
Okay, I don't remember that one. It didn't have a good PR.
I'd
It's a
like to
long one.
remind everyone that there was a point within the last 3 months that we were apparently getting $5,000 checks from all the cuts Elon was doing. Remember that
Yep.
time?
Yeah, the freedom dividend.
Well,
Yeah, it's
I have
almost
no-
like it accounted to nothing.
Thank
Imagine
God
that.
we're going in the opposite direction now.
Right.
Ben reminds me of a well-dressed Tim Pool.
Wow.
Ah,
That
With
is
the
an
hair, though.
awful comparison. Holy
he
shit.
doesn't profess as much as Tim. So,
No, I wouldn't say so.
no, he does do the drama, but he doesn't profess like Tim. Tim is
This
like,
is the first Ben Shapiro I've absorbed in the last 2 years. So
same.
it was kind of a breath of fresh air, not gonna lie.
Well, I
Debt
mean,
is to shrink the size.
Sorry, Ben has remained consistently like a moderate conservative. He's one of the few like large audience right-wing voices that has not like tipped his hat too far towards the extremes in the way that I've seen a lot of other right-wing commentators do. It's just a lot of people disagree with the fact that he has the audience that he has and like espouses right-wing views. But I'd rather have him over Candace Owens any day.
His wife is a doctor.
Reach.
His wife is a doctor. I haven't heard that one in a while. So thanks
And
for
his sister's hot as fuck, just saying.
So true.
okay, geez, yeah, when you got listen, that false. My sister's also hot as fuck. So
Nice.
and everything I say is valid. At
That's
work.
And you have
Half
not
factor.
shared a picture of your sister with any of us? My goodness.
I respect her.
Oh, wow.
Okay, but
don't
not us.
respect
You
us.
respect her, but not us.
She-
All right.
she's like a muscle mommy. She's
Ooh, don't
yeah.
go saying that. You're alive. You know that, right?
love you, Fla. Okay, so there you go.
Size of government and to shrink the size of our national debt because it is going to be a gigantic burden on the American taxpayer, on our future, on future growth, on tech, on all of these things. And so here we are blowing up the national debt. So that is Elon's perspective politically. And then there's President Trump's perspective, which is he's the most powerful
I was about to make him faster, and then I was like, wait a second, this is bad.
Yeah, don't do that, please.
Burn
man in the
my
world.
ears.
But also, he has the constraints of an extraordinarily narrow House majority, an extraordinarily narrow Senate majority. And coming into office, it wasn't as though he ran on these kind of widespread cuts. Elon may have wanted to do them, and maybe President Trump wants to do a few of them, but President Trump had never wanted to restructure Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, the things that actually would have to be cut in order to facilitate true debt reduction. And so President Trump comes in and he says, look, I've got
So, are you guys hearing that he's a little bit on Elon's side?
A little bit,
No.
but also what he said is not necessarily true. Also,
I think
especially in the second term, Trump did talk about not like severely reducing, but dismantling a lot of these systems in his rallies.
so. My
I need to go
understanding.
find some direct stuff. Go ahead.
My understanding is Trump generally is fine with big government spending,
Mhm.
and Ben Shapiro is very much against big government spending. So it would not surprise me that he's coming down on the side of Elon, whose function at Doge was to cut down on the government spending.
Mm.
Plus, it's political poison to talk about taking people's Social Security and Medicaid away.
Certainly.
No, but you don't need that. This is what we voted for, is it?
Well, it also is like VA disability payments and stuff like
Yeah.
that also go in there.
Especially when you're like, yeah, we're going to make it easier for rich people. So, you guys need to tighten the belt a little bit, huh?
my tax
Trickle
cuts.
down.
Those tax cuts are expiring. If the tax cuts are allowed to expire, you're going to get a massive tax increase, and then you're going to get a recession on the back of that. I'm the president of
No,
the
you're
United
not.
States. I need
No, you're not.
What, you're not going to get a recession?
What? Because billionaires have to have their taxes brought up
Yeah,
to
because
whatever.
that's where the wealth is.
We.
Wee.
the tax cuts. I need more money in border security. I'm willing to make concessions along spending lines in order to do that. However that gets hammered out is how it gets hammered out. And then he handed it off to Speaker Johnson and to Senator Thune to try and put together the requisite majorities. And what they came up with was a bill
Senator Thune. That sounds like something from June.
that basically preserves the current tax rates and also makes some moderate cuts to future growth in spending. But the way that the media have treated this is as though a new debt dike has suddenly been opened.
But
Suddenly
what?
the dam on debt has been broken.
Guys, Do you recognize Cade? Cade is from the Ben Shapiro debate. We haven't gotten to that yet. We're just busy talking about the breaking news about what's the name stuff about Doge and stuff. So Cade was in the Jubilee episode. So we're gonna get
Wait,
in
Ben
touch with Cade.
Shapiro debate? Did you say?
Sorry, did I say Ben Shapiro?
I
Sorry,
think so.
Jordan Peterson. Because I was wondering why everybody's like, hello, what's up? Oh, thanks, Matt. The mental health map. I've got the one up there. That my handmade one. glad it helped. Okay. Release the Kraken. Okay, so hold up.
And that actually is not true. The reality is that the debt trajectory looks very much like what the debt trajectory would have looked like if we had just assumed that the tax rates remain the same. Again, so much of this is about budget scoring and dynamic scoring, and do you treat the tax cuts as though they were going to go away, or do you recognize that they were likely to remain in place anyway? So that is a very interesting fight, the sort of ideological fight between what we want and what we...
Sorry, I saw this. And also I just wanted you guys to see Sherry's profile picture again. I had a migraine today. I thought of Kitty. I'm so glad you thought of me while you were in horrible, horrible pain. I hope it's gone away. What did you take a migraine cocktail?
We get what's possible and what we would love to see happen, what the American people say they want and what the American people actually want. All that's really interesting. And it got telescoped down into the battle between Elon Musk and President Trump over the big, beautiful bill. Because that's the political side. Mm-hmm. And as I've said before, I have sympathies on both sides. I am a long-time cutter. I'm somebody who has openly said we ought to restructure Social Security and restructure...
Self-harm's never the way.
Yeah, Men's Mental Health Month, guys. Not good.
Medicare and restructure Medicaid. I've said all of those things, but I also understand the American public does not agree with me on a lot of those things. And so you have to work through the system. So I have sympathy for Elon Musk's positions more than the positions of President Trump. I've criticized President Trump and the Republican Party in the past for not wanting to actually do anything about those massive debt creators. At the same time, I have a lot of sympathy for President Trump, who actually has to work within the realm of the pragmatic in order to achieve what...
Wow, okay. There's 1 point there for Trump. Okay. I guess.
He can. So that's in the political realm. Then you get to the business realm. So in the business realm, the biggest problem we have with the American government, it is so large that means that politicians can use it to help their friends and harm their enemies.
I want to know, who do you think is a better businessman, Trump or Elon?
Elon. I think Elon would 100% be.
Yeah.
Literally, just numerically, monetarily, yeah.
Yeah. But Elon is,
and that's kind of what you are seeing play out right here. So President Trump comes into office.
Did you say
he
yes?
won Michigan.
No, he can't. He literally can't.
Michigan obviously has a very large support base of auto workers who voted for President Trump, blue-collar workers, factory workers who really supported President Trump. President Trump has reconfigured enormous amounts of our trade policy in order to help specifically these kinds of people. That's what the steel tariffs are all about. That's what many of the car tariffs are about, and all the rest. If you're wondering why he's tariffing Canada, that would be one reason, is to supposedly try to reshore some of the manufacturing into the United States, in specifically that industry.
How's the tariffs going, guys?
This is going down like tar.
I mean, the things I've had to buy, I haven't really been affected by it, but
okay, that's good.
Hasn't he backed off most of them?
Taco.
Some of them.
Some.
Backed off some of them by delaying them for like, what was it, 90 days?
Yeah, that's good. We'll just keep delaying. Because
it's almost like he's full of shit.
You're exploding your economy. Cool.
I mean, technically there is a distinction between tariff and threat of tariff.
Yeah.
Sure.
He just wants him to be terrified.
Exactly.
How have we not made that joke so nicely done, Greg? That's why he's at the top, guys.
So as the big, beautiful bill worked its way forward, the electric vehicle mandates and subsidies that were part of the Biden-era law went away. And Elon Musk looked at that and he said, okay, hold up a second. You want to tell me that the EV mandates and regulations, and subsidies, that all that goes away, which really hurts Tesla, right? Because listen, I own Tesla. I love Tesla. Tesla is the best car company on planet Earth. It is an amazing
What did
So
he say?
good. The best
Tesla.
company in the world.
Tesla.
amazing company. I could not be a bigger fan of Tesla. Literally, my 2-year-old son's first word was Tesla. I'm not even kidding.
Holy
With
shit.
that said,
Is he saying
I
that
feel
about
like that's sad.
Damn, Charles. Come on.
What?
He just likes Tesla.
Fucking awful.
Have you been in a BYD
I mean, have you seen the Cybertruck?
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Have I?
car? But no, have you been in a BYD, Build Your Dreams? It's
Oh,
basically the Chinese knockoff of
Yeah. We have.
very
Oh,
good.
yes, yes. They have them in China, in England.
Mhm.
We don't have
They're
dreams here.
everywhere. They're everywhere.
Not in
They're
the U.S. They're not.
Not here.
Not in the
We've got
US.
Not in the
Teslas.
US. Okay, well, I suppose but they
Because China's no. That's no.
they were all over Japan, all over China, and
But
they
we've got,
are
like-
all over Dubai.
We've got bespoke electric cars, like some coming out of New York.
Mm.
What's the one like Revion or something like that? They look kind of
Is
fun.
that
The water company.
Isn't that the one?
No.
Oh, Revion. It's by the water company, but they've got. Aren't they the ones that have that radar? That's actually because Tesla uses cameras. The other one uses a type of radar.
Have you seen the video? where
I
the
am
guy
not
puts
sure.
A thing over a wall. The car drives right into the wall
Yes,
because it's
it's like because it's got a what's the name?
the Wile E. Coyote camera.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really funny.
Ah,
That was a really good video too.
oh, very good.
Content.
Veritasium. I
Elon
think.
is looking at this and he is saying, okay, so you're getting rid of subsidies to, my company and companies like my company, but you're blowing out the subsidies for a wide variety of other interest groups. What the hell? What the hell? And Elon said as much today. He said, listen, I'd be willing to take it on the chin as far as the electric vehicle
A little bit more than
mandates
that.
and subsidies if we were actually cutting spending, but we're not cutting spending. So I'm getting the worst of both worlds. We expand the spending, except in the area that would actually help my company. So what the ever-loving hell? And President
So he would take the cuts if it was benefiting or whatever cuts. He would take this change, if it was benefiting them in some way, but now it's benefiting nobody in any way. So what the freak? I suppose. Am I understanding this?
He sure is rolling out the red carpet for the big Epstein line.
Mm. Oh, is he going
A
to
lot of-
talk
A
about this?
lot of fucking chuff for the big finale.
Because that's very this is very much normal politics discussion, but then that's playing dirty.
I don't actually remember
on the other-
him bringing up the
Not
Epstein
saying
files in this video.
What?
Oh.
Should
so
I
this
just
is
go and look
nonsense.
at Elon's Twitter?
You might have to for that.
Okay.
You asshole.
and also
We
a
sat through
businessman is
7
saying,
minutes of this
well,
chipmunk.
hold up a second. We really should not have these sorts of subsidies for people who are already largely wealthy and who don't necessarily want to buy a green car. And I do have to support these workers. And so the battle that's happening here is kind of a normal battle that happens when business and politics meet. A normal battle between certain people who want certain benefits and other people who want other benefits. And the only solution to that, ironically, is to agree with Elon on cutting size and scope of government. A smaller government would not be actually capable of handing out favors to friends and punishing enemies. President Trump has now responded to Elon going after him by suggesting
Elon going after him. Okay, so I feel like with him just saying Elon going after him, that's quite a
Wait.
nice way to put it.
Let it play for another 30 seconds. I might have missed it.
that he is going to remove federal contracts for SpaceX. And Elon's like, fine, I'm just going to dismantle my rockets then. Fine, you don't want it? You don't get it. I'll work with somebody else. Again, none of that is particularly good for the United States because
okay, he didn't
SpaceX
bring
is
it up.
in fact an amazing company. Tesla is in fact an amazing company.
Oh, okay. You just better make sure that you say Tesla's a good company.
Man, Trump
several
just hates favors too. Hates them.
He doesn't like
Notoriously hates favors. Just ask Cutter.
Is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents 80% in the middle? The 80% in the middle? Look, that is something Charles, you wanted more parties. But I don't
Yes.
think
Well,
and
Charles
also I love
is
that.
a party man.
Shall I give it a yes for you?
Party animal.
I
Wow.
honestly think that we could start the Liberal Party in the United States and actually poach plenty of people from both sides.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I don't know. The
Democrats are
purity
awful.
tests for those will probably be pretty wild. You're not a
For-
real
for-
liberal.
I like. it's
Well,
fun.
well, it depends because there are plenty of people who are like actually liberals on both sides of the aisle, and that
Mhm.
you could actually like poach the moderates from very easily. Because Democrats are not liberal and neither are Republicans. So,
Isn't it incredibly ironic that he said a party for 80% in the middle, and then 80% vote yes?
wow,
Interesting.
imagine that! Oh my god.
And it's 3 million votes. And also the interesting, like he's not geofencing it. So this
Makes
is
you wonder-
everyone.
Makes you wonder how many bots are
Yeah.
are voting in that.
They watch what's going on in the know, and then they vote accordingly. So, look at this. He retweeted this an hour ago.
Jesus Christ!
I mean,
What is
hilarious.
He's too much. So, what did if
He's a
America
great
goes broke?
handshake, though. Best handshake in cinema.
Okay,
Good old
what?
Theo Von.
Senator, he's retweeting. Elon's stop retweeting, Elon.
Dude.
Elon's stance is principled. Trump's stance is practical. Tech needs Republicans for the present. Republicans need tech for the future. Drop the tax cuts. Cup some pork. Get the bill through. So that's okay. He's okay with that.
I hate that
Oh,
thing.
so this is the same thing. Tweeting this is the same thing as saying
He
Trump.
owns Epstein's old plane. Like
The Lolita Express?
the fucking Venn diagram is a full circle. Like, who's shocked by any of this? There's so much footage of them partying together. Like, what the fuck? Like, what does it take for you to be like, actually, I think maybe there's something there?
But I mean, if you're offered a flight and you don't have to go commercial, just saying.
So let's see.
Of a Mar-a-Lago party shows Trump
Hey, look at
giving
that guy.
Epstein
Look at those two.
his personal attention.
Oh,
The
no.
footage,
wholesome,
shot
just
in
wholesome.
November of 1992, before Trump opened the resort as a club, shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on
Oh
Faith
my
Look
Daniels'
at the dance.
NBC talk
Look at the
show.
dance.
We're gonna get great ratings
Still
on your
has the
show.
dance.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while,
Okay, but fine. I'm okay with them being women. But
Trump goes to
What?
he grabbed her by the waist.
Meow.
greet three new guests. Among them, the financier Jeffrey
That's a tall boy. Jesus, who the fuck is that?
Hmm.
Epstein.
Come on in. Go inside.
More than a
big,
decade before his
beautiful
And
guilty
like
plea
Donald Trump
on
is already
state prostitution
6 feet
charge.
tall, so
That's a big
like,
boy.
that dude's freaking tall.
Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump
scary.
alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man.
Ooh.
But he had the classic
and telling
moves even
Epstein
back
about
then.
the cameras. Though exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances.
The
Trump
women.
And their appearances.
gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot."
Interesting.
Man, it's
I'll
a
take
it's a
that.
shame.
And then
that sounds like
Trump
priming
says
right
something
there.
else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter. But as the president said of a
How dare
Mar-a-Lago
they? How dare they?
Hey, remember who the bad one was?
Yeah, the guy laughing. How could you make that monster feel happiness?
Okay, so yeah. So again, all he does is tweet with an eyebrow, a raised eyebrow.
There was a
Relationship-
direct tweet by him though, where he said that he's
Yeah.
in the Epstein
He
files.
said it. Yeah,
It's going to be further down.
I'm gonna
'cause
set
that's
off a
2
bomb or
hours
something
ago.
like that.
You
Yeah.
gotta go further down.
dude, he tweets like a. I mean, he owns the right company because
He is terminally online.
Wait, there it is. There it is
Fucking
on the
hell.
bottom. Time to drop the really big bomb.
is in the Epstein files. That's so the thing is we know that many people are in the Epstein files because it's anyone he came into contact with. But that's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump. Whoa. Yeah, okay. Fuck
Just put his
this.
dick on the table. He's like, what are you gonna do about
Mark this post for the future. I can't bookmarking it left.
it?
So my
Noted.
issue here is okay, so they're splitting. Elon's mad, so now he decides to be the jilted lover and say this
Very good
instead
point,
of let's say
Yes.
coming out
That
later.
doesn't make
I
Very
mean
good
earlier.
point.
yeah, so you
So,
why is it only now that
why
you're
sh-
gonna drop this bomb?
Exactly. Why should I believe you
Because-
if you were holding on to it?
Yeah.
Department of Doge.
Mhm.
Government efficiency. Let's go.
South
But
Africa.
isn't it more entertaining this way?
Oh, it's
for
entertaining.
sure. For sure.
Everyone shows Donald's Grok, is
Oh
this
my
true?
god, I'm
Evidence
going
shows-
to lose it. This is what every single post. There's like 40 people that are like, "Grok, is this true? Grok, is this true?"
But there's no indication of wrongdoing. The files were released by Trump's administration, contradicting things they withheld.
There's nothing to suggest that Epstein had anything to do with the white genocide in South Africa.
Very little to suggest that.
And what happened? Oh shit, let's see here. Trump said no to him about something and he's throwing a fit like a spoiled baby. Simple. Two narcissistic egos clashing publicly, not a surprise. This is what we expected that it is.
Yes.
Probably found out he was in the files. No. That's a very, very charitable thing.
Like
Sorry,
we knew that.
Yes.
It's the fact that he was like, "Oh, I'm going to release everything, JFK, fucking RFK, all of it," and then suddenly when it's like, "All right, what's with the deal with Epstein?" Oh, yeah, we're not going to do that. Actually, why? Wait, why?
Some people think that it's because he had to quit.
Lose 2 hours.
You know why?
He's okay.
What's in the back? What's in the background? Who's
Something
that?
in the 2 hours?
His roommate's watching TV.
Oh.
Oh, okay. It's
Fair.
Civil War now. Okay.
Civil War? Really? Over this? Nah.
It's funny. I just watched Mountainhead yesterday, and now it's like literally playing out in front of me.
So I mean, like, okay, if this actually does cause like a fracture in the quote MAGA community, how much do we wager is in the pro Trump or pro Elon crowd? Because I've seen a lot of MAGA people go like, we should just get rid of Trump and put Vance up there. What? Oh yeah, I've seen this actually on this very site, which, you know, facts pending.
The charisma
like-
void,
Oh, this is
Yeah,
dumb.
the charisma void, the cesspool,
the Pope killer.
the Pope killer.
I hate the internet.
This is dumb.
I
This
fucking
is
hate
really
it.
Trump
Dude,
over Vance.
American Pope, though.
American Pope. Oh
No,
my god.
I would not
The
want
internet.
JD Vance as president.
No,
Right.
Well,
I
yeah.
think
Why would you want a libertarian monarchist? Just saying.
it's Trump
Disgusting.
doing
I had
protection.
this hidden. Okay, well, I don't know, guys. That's the end of this segment. We've already spent a lot more time on it than.
Thanks,
than
Ben.
Yeah, thanks,
Hey,
Ben.
I will say, I think that Ben had a pretty measured video. Obviously, he's a fan of Elon Musk, but he didn't like throw any like weird jabs in there. So I can give him credit where credit is due. It's not a terrible video.
A little simpy.
Definitely a little simpy.
simpleton.
Palate cleanser before we go to talk about Peterson.
Oh my god!
still-
Why
this
did I
is
come
still-
back for this? I'm going right back.
What do
to
you mean
the
by
hospital, you know that,
Peterson?
right?
What do you mean by Peterson?
What do you mean by Peterson? Well, this is, you know what, this is still on point because it's,
Oh,
you know, do you think Peterson
I
would
want to murder someone. That looks like you're chewing
Oh.
gum.
Mm-mm.
I
Anyone,
agree.
Why?
Right to jail.
anyone,
Why so-
I
That
hate
looks
it.
like the bottom of a boot.
it's so true.
Undercooked,
Undercooked
says Lord
says-
Cameron.
Woof.
You
What the
freaking
fuck?
If it
Brit.
was done in like a slow cooker, you could probably shred it for like some awesome tacos or something.
For
But
sure.
man,
You would need
as is looks like you
something-
ruined it.
something wet on it. You need like a ton of
Juice sauce,
A1 or
too.
something. Yeah,
Love it says it's
Would have
just
to
a little raw.
submerge it. Oh.
yeah. That's dry. That's
You don't even see the juice in there.
there's dust coming out of your mouth when you're chewing that thing.
That's the cinnamon challenge right there. Yeah. Jeez. Okay. Well, that's our palate cleanser.
Oh,
So I will bring up the diagram so that we can look at the claims. But I want to ask everybody who has watched the Peterson debate.
I watched a little bit of it.
What
I
is
couldn't
the
get through
Peterson
it.
debate?
In 2 hours.
Jordan, yeah, what is it? What do we mean by it?
only two.
But 2x.
Yeah, I've seen it a bunch of times, unfortunately. Not a good showing. It's weird.
When you say not
I
a
would be
good
interested
showing,
in
what do you
your
mean by not a
opinion on
good
it, though.
showing?
I have respected a lot of what Jordan Peterson has said in the past, and I don't know. I have totally taken umbrage with other people saying that, you know, like he just speaks in these deepities that mean nothing. But man, this is the first time that I've kind of seen what they're saying. So I don't know.
Right, it's
And it-
okay.
Bad showing.
I was
Thank
defending
you.
Last of Us every episode until that finale. So things happen.
Okay, I want to know about
I mean,
that. But
Me too.
Eddie,
yeah,
did you see Warren Smith's video and his thoughts on it?
no, I
'Cause
haven't.
it's now a members only video.
Ooh,
Oh,
Oh,
why?
spicy.
I don't know
on
why.
Last of Us
But,
or on Peterson?
On Peterson. And Warren was taking the side. I remember watching it at the time. Warren was definitely taking the side of like Peterson was asking the right questions, but was getting a terrible response. So why would you respond to this person who's talking to you this way? And it wasn't a very good defense of Peterson's debate.
Oh, interesting.
It's a
I-
weird
I-
lens to view that as.
Yeah.
I'd be really interested to hear Kidda's opinion on it since she's been like diagramming this thing. I've only
Absolutely.
cut bits and pieces, but
Yeah, it's.
I don't know.
It's been a s-
Do you see it as straightforward as it could be, or does it seem as dodgy to you?
It is dodgy. You know what? I'm disappointed in him. I think just his behavior. It's like he lost. That's what I'll say. It's like he lost. They didn't win.
Is it
Um,
true that he had them change the title from one Christian versus
Yes.
a bunch of atheists to Jordan
Yes.
Peterson?
Almost
Why?
every one of the atheists said that they agreed that it was a Christian versus 20 atheists, and then it was originally posted under that, and
Prior
then it had to
to-
change.
It was when I first saw it. I remember seeing it and say it's saying Christians. I'm like, wow.
And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that it was even stated as such by one of the atheists when
Yeah, it
talking
was.
to Peterson.
It
3
was.
times. There's a couple of them. Obviously, the one that went viral was Danny, the little shit, cheeky little
Mhm.
shit that said, well, "What are you then?" You know, like that whole thing. He he's kind of he went like this. He did a little. Okay, so but yes, but there were some people that also asked it. They didn't do it badly. They didn't do it as aggressively as Danny did. And they said, well, you're a Christian, right? I mean, what are you here for? And I think that is one of the downfalls, is that he just does not want to stick with the label ever of Christian. He never wants to, and I don't understand why. I mean, he's written a whole book of, I haven't finished it obviously, but it's We Who
You
Wrestle
haven't
with
finished
God.
your maps of meaning? Come
No, not
on.
maps of meaning. That We Who Wrestle with God, and you can see he's really, really interested in the Bible and its teachings and
And the philosophy
meaning.
of it all.
Yes, the philosophy of the Bible and what you can get from it, right? So that's really cool. But at the same time, he just will not stick with this. He will not be. He does not want to ever call himself a Christian.
Can I interject for
Yeah.
like 5 seconds before Charles, who's been holding his hand up for the past
Sorry,
15,
I
30
was
the
speaking
camera.
into the camera. And not,
no, it's very helpful. But I feel like even with those who were not trying to pin Jordan Peterson down on being a Christian, who are interacting in good faith, he did not show a charitable response to those people either. So
he was
it's not a
aggro.
good showing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Charles, you were ready.
So my question to the debate kids is this bad faith
Debate
by him
kids.
I
would you
would
prefer
say
me to
so.
say debate bro? Like
Yes.
the fact that they're of the impression that the debate is Christianity versus atheism, and then he kind of like throws a monkey wrench and thinks that's bad faith.
I
yes?
would say yes, and on top of that, he has his 12 rules for life. Number 8 is tell the truth or at least don't lie. Number 9 is assume the person that you are listening to might know something you don't. And number
Mhm.
10 is be precise in your speech. I think not only was he being bad faith, but he was also going against his rules in this particular
Yes.
Oh.
debate.
The way he was
And-
interacting, especially the most egregious when you said that, Gray, the most egregious is he did not assume that anybody that he was talking to knew something he didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Did not do that
Preach.
at all.
I don't disagree, but I also feel like it should be stated that the format for the discussion does heavily limit
Yes,
For sure.
deep dives into any
Yeah.
specific.
I agree. I agree.
Not only
especially-
that,
yeah. Mm.
but like Destiny and there's like 3 other people that I kind of watch their take on the behind the scenes thing of it, but they get final edit on it, and apparently you talk a lot more than they actually show in the thing. So there are accusations that they made Peterson seem a little bit more flighty or sketchy than he actually was on the spot.
I've tried during the during diagramming to show to just note where some weird cuts were, and yeah, there were a couple, but yeah, there's no way to figure out exactly when they cut. You just have to believe what everybody else has said.
Well,
And
that's
I'm
the-
gonna
Well, that's the beautiful thing about the Jim Jeffries interview that Jordan Peterson did, where the interview was cut up to make him look as bad as possible by the editing of the show. But then he was able to show the unedited full recording to give context for what was being omitted, which did vindicate him at the time. But without that full unedited release of what the conversation was actually like, nobody can actually have that as something to compare it to and actually know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, and I don't. But the thing is, okay, so I understand this. Blair White as well said they edit whipped her, and she did say that it made her look a little bit more unhinged because they had put things in an order that made her seem a little like she had gotten more angrier without cause. So that's what it seemed like. So that maybe I think that mechanism could have happened for Peterson, but the thing is, going through it sentence by sentence, there's no way, there's no context that you can add to this that makes this a good performance. I'm still disappointed in him. The fact is, the stuff that we do show is not good. I don't see a context in which he does better. Does anybody know? And I guess I will ask Cade when I get hold of him, or Greg when I get hold of him, whether the person Jordan Peterson came up with these claims, or does Jubilee make them?
I believe he did, because he came in with his own claims, and the claims themselves, I don't know. What are your thoughts on the claims? I think a couple of the atheists had some really good points on kind of pointing out on the spot what he seemed to be doing, but
Yes.
maybe I'm incorrect.
No, I think what I found with the claims is all of them are smuggling something in. I know that's a term now we're just using because.
Claim
But
one
it
is a weird question.
It's atheists reject God,
Or a
but they
weird
don't
claim.
understand. So what
How
do you?
could
what
that
are you
possibly
thinking about
stand with
it?
his explanations of God throughout this debate or
Mhm.
whatever? Because at one point it's just your conscience. It's like what,
yeah.
and then he talks about Elijah's version of it too, which is, I think that one is the conscience. Excuse me.
Actually,
It-
just.
oh yeah,
before
you've got a
we go more-
diagram of it. We could know.
No, before we go into it, actually, I just want to ask the panel where they stand on God. I'm sure we've spoken about it before, but what's your belief, Gray? I think none of us are really particularly religious, except for Bimo.
I-
No, sorry. I'm saying, like, as
Hey.
in, religious as in. I know you do.
I mean,
rituals.
if we're going off of Peterson's thing, you know, I guess I'm religious.
conscious?
What is that?
You're conscious.
But didn't he say religious is essentially
Worshiping.
like hierarchy? It's having like a preference or something. So
Yeah.
of course I'm religious as all hell.
Yeah, we all are.
No, I'm devoutly atheist. I have a bit of agnosticism there. I don't know for certain. I don't know if we can ever truly attain knowledge, but I see no reason to believe.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. So you there's a bit of agnosticism where it's like you don't know either way.
I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of gods that I can reject outright. I don't think I could do anything with just like a deist god. Like they're okay. And if you're just gonna like redefine the universe as God, like yeah, I believe in the universe. So it depends. I am agnostic on gods like that, but there's a whole bunch of them that I can reject and find no proof of.
Okay. Cool. Okay, Bimo. Yeah, you're
Yeah, I'm
say-
a Protestant Christian.
okay. Yeah.
I very much believe in the Christian God of the Jews. Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, that would put me under the religious mark.
Yeah, but
Definitely.
also when I said religious, I mean going like ritual, going
Yeah.
into So you go to church and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I go to church. I partake in church activities and community outreach for the church. So yeah, it's stuff I do. It's just a part of my routine. Hey Rex, how you doing? But yeah, I mean, it's just what I've done for most of my life. And like even after like everyone in my house moved away that was going to church, I stopped going for church for a while. I stopped doing the Christian lifestyle, and I eventually came back to it anyway. So
Yeah.
don't hold on to your base because I came back to it.
Yeah, we all make mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes. Yeah.
Beam Ohio, how do you feel about deities? Deities.
I don't have a dictionary definition for what I definitively do believe. I don't believe God is a man in the sky casting judgment on people, but I am inclined to believe that there is an indefinable, what we perceive to be an indefinable force or nature or state of existence, that feeling you get when you do something that is right and good, that the thing that artists clue into when they create something,
Jiminy Cricket.
whatever set of happenstances led to us being here now, generally speaking, that, yeah, sure.
So would you
It's
be
the
okay
catch-all
with the label?
definition. What?
Yeah, would you be okay with the label agnostic?
I mean, sure, leaning toward the affirmative.
Okay.
Well, I mean, agnostic can be from like I just don't know to sure God exists, but I don't care. So.
Or yeah, it could. Yeah, it's just like there's something.
I would argue it's less that I don't care and more like there's not much for me to do about it.
Okay, I get that. Okay, Charles.
I'll tell you what, of late, it's making it quite difficult to think there's a grand plan for me. But I'm probably agnostic with atheist leanings.
The grand plan is for you to die eventually.
I'm trying. But I was raised Catholic.
Okay. Yeah, but you were raised Catholic, I suppose, so you've got that background. But
Yeah, at a
Means
certain
you've
point, I
got
was
the
like,
anti-religious edge.
yeah, at a certain
Yeah.
point, I was like, this is bullshit. Like,
There you go.
this is
why am I
nonsense.
standing? Why am I sitting? Why am I
Like
standing?
most
Why-
of the Catholics I know.
better kneel. Better kneel.
My favorite Catholic friend is he just wears a little pendant that just lists his little Catholic creed. And he's like, as long as I wear this, I will not go to hell. Other than that,
Yeah.
other than that, he lives his life as disgusting and degenerate as possible.
When I was a kid, it was like, you didn't eat meat, did you? What? Why? It's Friday. Oh, what the? Nobody
Friday,
told me.
Sushi day. Wee
You can eat fish, which is also a living thing. So, like, what the fuck? What are these rules?
No, the Catholics are really funny because
They hate the gays and shrimp because
yes. No, it's weird because they've based their rules on stuff in the Old Testament, but they're all about the New Testament. So it's I don't know.
Isn't it within Catholicism that you're allowed to eat capybara because it's technically defined as fish?
I don't know. I'm on this part now with all the rules, right, in the Bible. So I'm on Leviticus. If Bimo, if you
I know Leviticus well.
so it's like, is the hoof split or not? You know, and all of that. So that's where I'm at. So I'm like, cool.
Leviticus
stuff.
was a fun one during Sunday school because then I would get in an argument with the pastor over tattoos.
Oh, it's so much fun, isn't it?
Or Galente. So we've got a couple agno atheists, but we've got the devout atheist up here. So
the religious atheist, you could say.
No, we must keep gray in mind when we go through these claims because
gray is the golden mean.
We do have I have had atheist gamer, literally it's in his name, in the chat and things like that while I've been diagramming. I've had atheists around, but that's why I wanted to go over this with you guys as well. See what your guys'
faith.
You
never said whether you're religious or not.
Hey, well, I will after Galente.
Nice dodge.
Okay. So I find myself in a similar camp, but also like I get a Venn diagram of sorts. Because I'm agnostic, but not necessarily leaning towards the side of atheism.
Right.
My agnosticism comes from the fact that I believe that if there were a higher power, unless it makes itself known to me, my own personal, like, biological human body probably wouldn't be able to pick up on that in a meaningful way unless said higher power intervened with me directly. So with that limited scope of what sensory detail I have to discern whether or not there's a god or higher power or not, I can't figure that out. And I feel like it would be kind of presumptuous if I did proclaim one way or the other whether there was or there was not. And also, I feel like it'd be even more presumptuous of me to assume that if there was a higher power or a god, that I knew which one humans have interpreted that is the most accurate. I'm open to being wrong. I'm open to being proven one way or the other. But until that happens, I don't fucking know. And to act like my life is going to be determined or judged by something that I'm not even fucking aware of, it's not within my realm of scope. That being said, I was raised as Protestant and Baptist, so I do have a Christian background, and both of them conflicting. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like I have any claim to what the truth statement of the spiritual world is.
Sweet. Makes sense.
What would a TLDR be of that? Oh,
agnostic. Okay. Agnostic.
I would say
agnostic,
maybe spiritualist.
Spiritualist,
possibly.
But he doesn't. No. Spiritualist implies a bit too much that he would be actively thinking about this God. It's not. I don't think he does that. It's that we're deciding what you do, Galente.
Yeah, no, it's fine. If you want a TLDR, I would say that based off of my experiences and materialistic influences that I can understand, I don't fucking know, and I won't presume to.
Okay.
I feel like that might actually be the underlying thing of Peterson. Maybe he's like he there's so much meaning. and he can't really pick one. So he's in this. How can I presume to know? But at the same time, you still see him focusing a lot on Christianity and the Bible instead of like Buddhism or
Yeah.
the Quran.
He's had a couple like teachings on him, but yeah, Christianity is definitely his major theological focus.
Mhm.
And he has a lot of conversations, or had a lot of conversations on his channel with known theology majors on those things, historians, and what the heck is his name? Oh my gosh, he made
Dawkins?
no, not Dawkins. Did he ever talk to Dawkins? I don't remember.
I think he
I
did.
thought
He
you said
expected.
Dorkus, and I was like, when
They
did
talked
I
to
speak
Dorkus.
with Peterson?
You don't remember? Wow.
You don't remember it?
I can't believe it.
That's why you're a thinker. We were cloud chasing. We came after you.
It wasn't Dawkins, but I can't remember his name.
So I know he talked to Dillahunty, and there was like a couple other
Yeah.
ones that he had like these famous debates with. But yeah, I mean, like he did write maps of meanings. It always has been kind of a
Yes.
thing, but it seems like there's a heavier push towards it. Like he's had
Recently,
issues
yeah.
before where he kind of wouldn't say whether or not he was a Christian, but he said, "I act as if I believe," and it's like, okay,
Yes.
that kind of makes sense. In this, he kept saying kind of weird things that were not.
Just you slimy.
He
Yeah.
just wouldn't
But-
say the words.
Mhm.
But his wife Tammy went through a rather crazy cancer that they said was terminal, and she had this religious experience, and she became so much more devout after that. I think there's another pressure for him to kind of be a little bit more wishy-washy with this now.
Happy
I might
wife,
be
happy
reading too
life.
much into that.
With pressure. Why wouldn't he accept it like she did?
Why would he do this
it-
show?
Well, because
If
they're
he's-
different people. Like, and the pressure would be from the other person being his wife that he would
Charles.
bring that on board.
And he
Oh,
also
so
had a near-death experience,
Charles.
and supposedly she prayed for him a lot too. So I don't know. That would be a
Well,
lot of
that-
pressure
that
if your
could-
wife is basically saying like, God saved us both. If it wasn't for that, we were both meant to die.
Yeah.
Like, could you
Oh,
be
so-
like, yeah, that's all bullshit?
Okay, yeah. So I suppose you
could.
can't say it's all bullshit, but so you're kind of thinking that what underlying it, he's like it's all bullshit. I like the messages and stuff like that, but actually he doesn't truly believe in a god.
He's trying to enact
I don't
the
know.
term cultural Christian.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, like that is kind of what people thought that he was getting at before. But can I ask, as believers or close to believers, does it offend you guys that he won't say whether he does or
annoys
not,
me.
or does it seem weird to you?
It's annoying.
annoys
It's
me.
not offensive.
Annoying is the
because,
word
like,
for it. Yeah.
If the wishy-washiness is definitely like
It's a
not
point of
what I'm
criticism.
into. I'm not into it, because if you're wishy-washy, I can't say you're a Christian.
Hmm.
And I know that he's specifically making it so like, no, why am I being called a Christian, even though the debate was called that?
I appreciate taking the position that a person would take the question very seriously and very personally.
Mhm.
I have no problem with the person doing that. Jordan Peterson's a bit of a unique case in that he publicly speaks on these things very frequently. Would you say he speaks as an authority sometimes? Such that I don't think it would be I think he should have an answer that he would be more comfortable sharing with people. But I do also understand someone who is perhaps less outspoken saying it's personal to me.
Mm. No, I
He's
oh yeah,
Christ
just
curious.
he's Christ curious. There you go. Maybe that's a good way to say it. Hey, Waffle Fry. Christians don't want to claim him. Well,
I
yes,
wouldn't want to claim him.
like because also we just in the way that he worked in this debates as well. You don't want to claim him. I think he could have, at least, if he's so afraid of this label, he could have just said with a caveat, okay, I'm taking the position of Christian in this debate.
Would have been
and
really
then-
simple then.
That gives him plausible deniability, because he needs that. Okay, cool. We're not forcing you into this box. But at some point there needs to be some sort of reckoning. Like, geez, you can't. You need to say something about what you believe, and he doesn't say anything. Really, a lot of the time he says this, and then he moves to that, and he moves to that. Anyway, I hadn't said what I believe. So yes, I've said it before, and lately, but just a reminder. Also Christian, in terms of, yes, I follow Christ. Studying the Bible over again, from the beginning this time, and oh yes, was raised Catholic, but yeah, Catholics make a lot of atheists. I've been through my atheist phase. And I think I went through the atheist phase because of Catholicism. So yeah, that's how I feel. I still need to read his latest book, says Walls. Yeah, I've got it on audiobook. I think I need to actually get the hard copy because I keep putting the audiobook on and then falling asleep, which is just not a good idea. Yeah, you need to. It is a good. I think it is a good book. It's a good book to read just as a believer. It doesn't matter. You don't need him to. He's just talking about the meaning of the Bible. It's all good. But maybe I'm missing something, guys. Maybe in the book he explains why he won't call himself a Christian. Maybe.
In the book, Maps and Meaning, or
no, in We Who Wrestle with God.
Oh yeah, definitely haven't read it yet. So
at the same time, like, even if he explains why he doesn't want to identify directly as Christian, in the context of this debate, if you are putting yourself in the position of you are the Christian in the one Christian versus 20 atheist debate, then you kind of have to adopt the mantle of arguing the point of the debate. Even if it's not necessarily something you believe, anyone who's been in debate class or debate extracurriculars knows that you may not necessarily be in agreement with the thing that you're arguing for. In the act of like practicing debate tactics. However, the showing that Jordan Peterson seemed to give during that was, in my opinion, fairly disingenuous. Like, every time somebody tried to ask him a question, he seemed to just kind of say, well, what do you mean by that? Or, well, I don't necessarily agree with that framing. And when that's literally every response that he gives, maybe not literally every response, but yeah, it's frustrating. And it means that the people that are trying to like actually speak with him have nothing to speak to because he's not giving them anything.
Yeah.
Has there ever been an internet debate that got past the, well, what's your definition for this portion of a debate?
Plenty. Yeah, not this one.
Not this one, but I mean,
I think some of the people tried. There was one atheist, I wish I could remember whose name was, but he really tried, and it seemed like he kept trying to meet him halfway, but man, I don't know, it just seemed so intentional this time, which I haven't gotten that impression from him before. But it seemed like it was a lot of retreating to, that's not my definition.
And whenever and he wasted a lot of time, going wishy-washy with it. So let's look at the claims. Okay, so yes, I'm in agreement with Dorkus that the claims, the format of this whole thing does obviously not lend itself to deep conversation, but I would think, and what I loved about Peterson is that he was able to have really good, awesome conversations. So he would be, if anyone was going to be above this this format, it would be original Peterson. Okay, original, curious Peterson that wants to hear what another person says rather than profess for the rest of it.
Before weaponized tribalism instilled weaponized tribalism in him and ruined him.
Yes, before that. So yeah, that's exactly it. So we've got you. So we're going to assume you can make the claims, right? a lot of them, it feels like they are smuggling something in. So atheists reject God, but they don't understand what they're rejecting. So the way I saw this as this claim, I was like, okay, so when you say this, you're saying that you can, because they're not rejecting God, because they don't understand, that's why they're rejecting. If you do understand God, then of course you will not reject him. Am I just making a huge logical leap? What do you
I don't
guys
think so.
hear when you read that claim? So you don't think so, Galente? Cool, you're with me.
Sorry, I'm eating.
That's okay.
Which one is it that we're looking at again?
Claim one.
Sorry.
Let me go here. Let me
Claim
zoom
one.
in.
Atheists reject God, but they don't understand what they're rejecting.
Mhm.
That is definitely what Jordan Peterson was saying.
I just feel like that's not a very good claim to make. There's too many directions that can go.
Mhm.
It's just
Well,
like-
how
when he-
what would you? Yeah.
I was gonna say, especially when he kind of backs it up later, it's like, wow. I don't know. I really hate that claim. I wouldn't tell you what like somebody who calls themselves a theist would believe.
I wouldn't call it a neutral
there's so
claim,
many
that's for
different-
sure.
There's just
There's so many different.
so many different flavors of both theism, atheism. Like, I don't know. I think you'd have to ask somebody what they want, and that's where you'd kind of meet them where they're at, which is
Mhm.
is
And
rule
yes.
number 9. Assume the person you're listening to might know something that you don't. I
Mhm.
wish he kind of came to that with more of an open mind, but man, I really don't like the way that he worded that. Oh, there's some meow.
Me either.
And also, I feel like in line with that, saying that atheists reject God, but they don't understand what they're rejecting, is very much so along the same lines of saying that those who are religious are deluded, but they don't understand their delusion.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It comes across as you are being automatically antagonistic, in which you could actually reach out to the people that don't quite meet the standard that you're trying to like propose and like advocate for.
Yeah.
But if you sorry, you were saying?
No, it's a bit of an attack. It's you.
Yeah.
Yeah. With this claim. Charles, any comments on the claim?
No, I kind of agree with everyone else.
Thanks.
Kinda.
Thanks, Charles.
Calm the
Kinda.
fuck down, Charles. Jesus Christ, you're giving me an anxiety attack. Fucking A.
I agree. It's a slight. Yeah. So he's.
When did Eeyore replace Charles?
Dude, I'm on like so many meds.
Yeah. Okay. We're lucky
Jacked
to have him at all.
I kind of agree.
We're just
with
happy
that.
you're here,
This is-
but I'm going to give
this
you a
is
little bit of shit.
It's fine.
This is a
Jealous too,
great
though.
question, Davina. You know,
I mean,
Um,
he wrote a book called "We Who Wrestle with God." I don't know.
no, it would be good to talk to him about it, to find out what his claim, what his definition of God is, and then move on from it. But the thing is, he's got so many different definitions, and he jumps around with them depending on the conversation he's having. So I don't know. Would we change what claim would you put in the way of this? What are we trying to say? Because also
Okay.
it's like
I
you
have
don't need to attack the atheists with this. But I guess that's the
not
point.
necessarily.
The
But I
whole
guess
thing.
his whole point was to label people as a different form of religious and work
Mhm.
from there.
Yes.
But like if I were to reframe like claim 1 of atheists reject God, but they don't understand what they're rejecting, is atheists reject God. Can we define what God is?
Oh yeah, kind of atheists. Yeah. Well, how do they? I guess it has to be a claim. It can't be a question. So can we?
So how would you reframe that? So atheists could reject God, but they might not know who God is, or
So
something of the
can I-
sort. But I guess it's the
honestly,
same question.
I appreciate that reframing to some extent, but I feel like there is a simple word replacement that we could do. We can replace reject with does not accept. Like atheists do not accept God, like as a concept, right? I feel like when, especially in the context of atheists versus Christians, when somebody is framing the question of reject God, all of a sudden there's moral implication there. That I think that does not accept God is also like approaching the same like idea, but also doesn't put as much moral claim onto the person who is agreeing with the rejection from those that do not reject it, right? Like if somebody who is a devout Christian sees that somebody is rejecting God, that's a moral affront, right?
Yes.
But if somebody says that atheists do not
Zaxx.
accept God as their Lord and Savior,
Hey, Zaxx.
Hi, Zaxx.
Yes.
Then at the same time, that is a factual claim that is reaching the same levels of requirement as rejecting God, but isn't putting a moral claim on it.
Yeah, it has less baggage with it. I
For
feel
sure.
like it could still, people could still take it that way. I think they could still do it. They could still put
Yeah.
that moral
But
thing on,
if you're
but
going,
it's a little bit less obvious, I suppose.
yeah, and if you're going the extra mile to frame your arguments around the idea of trying to take consideration for somebody else's point of view in it, and then they still take offense to it, fuck them. Who cares about them?
You would fuck
yeah.
them, you degenerate.
No,
Exactly.
I've been celibate for a little bit.
Welcome, Zaxx.
Run
On
dry.
the religion train again.
Well, that depends what you mean by welcome, right?
Okay, guys. It
Is you
does
for this
depend.
conversation or another Disney ranking?
You are very welcome to come into the conversation right after celibacy is mentioned.
Yeah, not for me. But you guys enjoy that. That's fine.
God bless.
Yeah, that's right. Walk your path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, have you watched this whole thing?
No, I've watched most of it. I kind of zoned out for a while. It was hard to watch.
I
It
don't
was
blame you.
He's an old man taking a beating.
He's
Yeah.
so
He's- And he's an old man that I'm generally speaking like a fan of, and not so much recently, but like he's Canadian, and so when he broke onto the scene on public television here. So before Rogan and all that, like he was not well known, but you'd heard of him, and you seen the Ontario Network debate he had with the other professor, and that was kind of what got him rolling. But so I was a fan of his from then, just because he was taking a stand for free speech at the time, is what I saw, and against compelled speech. And recently, I don't know, like I haven't followed him closely in a couple of years now, probably more than a couple of years, ever since, even prior to his Russia thing, where he went off his meds and almost died and ended up in a coma in Russia and has
Yeah.
come back. But it's kind of sad to see him like this, like like it was so what a weird debate, lack of debate,
Yes, definitely lack of engagement.
nothing. And it was a bit of a letdown. I thought maybe I would like to see him tear people apart like he has years ago, but he was attacking them, but like with nothing for nothing.
Well, it seems like that conversation in loose quotes, very much so seemed to be not the Jordan Peterson that I enjoyed in the monk debates, but definitely a version of that person who kind of succumbed to the same like pitfalls of ideology that he was criticizing other people for succumbing to.
Like the tragic downfall, yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like Jordan Peterson never would have made it that way if he hadn't been so vilified during his rise to public prominence. But like you can't take the onus of one's actions entirely off of them based off the context they're around. He still has the autonomy to keep himself in check, and especially with somebody who is as in touch with introspection as he was during 12 Rules for Life. It seems frustrating to watch somebody fall down the same pitfalls that they warned other people about.
Like, listen, one of the things that we've done, guys, was the decline of Jordan Peterson was an early thing. And that was like a year ago, 2 years ago. And yeah, he's declined even further, which means he has actually sustained. He stayed around. He's still a thing. But yeah, this is just. Oof. I wanted to ask you, Zaxx, just to clarify for everybody as well. We asked the whole panel where everyone sits with belief. Where are they? Are they religious? Where are you on the spectrum? Oh, you're on the muted spectrum. Yeah.
I'm on the muted spectrum today, I guess. Yeah. So I've listened to the whole show, so I know where you guys are at. I guess I am at the, I don't know, low end of the spectrum. I guess that would be Christian adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
Is the best sort of. I don't go to.
Are you an atheist for Jesus like Adam?
No. I just don't. I went to church when I was a kid. United Church. I guess that's Protestant. My wife is Catholic. On paper, however, she's not very Catholic.
Every Catholic's
corrected right away.
Now you're tribalist with masks and things. You do voodoo and.
I do. Yeah, I conquer cultures if I can. I
nice colonialism. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm still a colonial, but so I guess loosely Christian. I guess you would say I'm not an atheist.
Not an atheist.
Dare you say culturally Christian?
Oh, I like that. That's kind of good, actually. I don't mind that. Culturally Christian.
Sure. Culturally Christian? You mean
not spiritually?
Adam will go to church only
before he said that he was an atheist for Jesus.
There you go.
I think there's some kind of something, but I have not ever really investigated what that something would be. I've had like different spiritual experiences, I suppose, but
would you go to church on like, let's say a Christmas or like an Easter?
Would I? Sure. Do I know?
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I could be forced.
Could do.
Oh, dear.
And coming from BMO's perspective, I do understand why he makes that distinction. There's a very big difference between somebody who is open to the idea of a religion and somebody who practices it. And I, like, granted, like, I'm sitting here being I don't fucking know. And I think if I were to say I would know, I'd be egotistical.
Just drink your cheese balls, sir.
I will drink my cheese balls. Thank you very fucking much. But at the same time, a part of the reason why I don't claim to be a part of anything that I'm not assured of is because if I were to claim, like, say, Protestant or Baptist, faith, I'd be lying. And that's, I feel like much more of an affront to a religious perspective than me just saying I don't believe in it. Forgive me if I'm wrong for assuming that about you, BMO, but I mean, I'm assuming you'd be more frustrated with somebody who pretends that they're a Christian versus somebody who says, no, I'm not a part of that.
Yeah, and the most frustrating part is I can say, I don't think you're a Christian, but then they'll always go back with like, well, you don't get to choose. It's like, okay, but
oh, Gray. Oh,
what was that?
That was a sugar glider.
That was my sugar glider. I was trying to copy Kidda's thing, but I didn't have enough time to make a circle mask for it, and it just auto played when I loaded it in. But
it was so
sugar
cute.
gliders.
So cute.
But yeah, I mean, it's always one of those things of like growing up as a Christian. I've always been in church. This is something that I've always been a part of my life. When I see people that they say they're Christian and then their whole life is nothing like it, that's enough for me to be like, okay, I know what kind of Christian you are. You're the one that says that you are. It should reflect in your actions as well, in my opinion.
It's the difference between those that pray on street corners versus those that don't pray at all.
As opposed to those that prey on children.
Oh no!
No!
Hey! Let's not talk too much shit about Catholicism. All right.
I'm sorry. It was just it's such a good segue.
But no, seriously, that is the difference between those that pray on street corners versus those that don't pray at all. It's the reason why that was seen as
something that was to be more detested than those who are not religious, because you're not actually engaging in your faith genuinely. You're just putting it out there for others to see. And yeah, it feels like that's kind of what Jordan Peterson's been like the past year or so. Fucking praying on street corners.
Also, Carissa Fisher in the chat. That happens on my town daily, all the time.
People are praying on the corner.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
the Bible has words for those people too. Actually, and they're not good ones.
To respond to Carissa, I don't mean that as a literal saying. It's praying on street corners is the old-timey version of saying virtue signaling. If you don't actually mean the shit, but you're just showing it to everybody else, that's the problem.
Nice profile picture. Who drew that, Cat?
I like it.
Someone who is very fond of cats.
Me, of course.
What I can say about religion, from experience I've had is traveling, going through Europe, and it's a different experience there because everything is so old and all of the cultures are built around the churches. Like in Portugal, all of the like everything is built around these different church locations. They are your guidepost as to where you're going, and people meet there. It's a meeting place, and it's the buildings themselves are so giant and so old and so impossible that they've been there for that long.
Yeah,
and
the bell
that many
towers.
people. Yeah, it feels different than in North America. I can't quite explain it, but you can there's a sense of awe there, and it's a part of the daily lifestyle that it's different than here. And same thing in Spain, although Spain there's a lot more Muslim iconography that was built in because of
how it was
years of fun that they had. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. So that I feel differently about it having gone to those places than I did before. If that the experience was different.
Do you think that's like a spiritual and cultural experience? Is it all in one? Like this awe that you spoke about awe, and I think that's involved in worship. It's something that we can talk about actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that it's partially cultural, but it was more spiritual just to be in those spaces. I felt different. I don't know if people were different, but I felt different, and being connected to them and learning the history and walking through these enormous places with reading through like some of the inscriptions and just you're in a place that's from 900 and it's been standing for that long and it's been burnt down this many times and built up this many times by all these different generations of people, and it's just different than the plywood church down the street here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience, and I think that's also what just. So yes, I believe in God. I was over my atheism thing, but I was not actively looking into the Bible, not actively praying much as well, consciously praying. And then I went to Japan, and I was obviously there's a lot of different non-Christian belief there, and then
is Shinto Buddhist confirmed.
Yeah, exactly. So it was very cool to see those things, and the bells and things like that. I was looking up a lot of what it means, what they believe. Like there was shrines and things all over the place, and of course often exposed to mosques here, of course, beautiful mosques and things like that. But then we went to this place in Macau.
Are you trying to show something at the moment, or
I'm gonna.
We don't. Okay.
It's a window. Sorry, let me just remove it. I'll show this to you.
No sale.
Oops. Yeah. There you go. So we went to this place in Macau, which was built by the Portuguese when they were here, and the rest of it burnt down. This is literally just the
wall,
the wall of it, that you go
that's
through.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. And it was weird because look, it's hot. I honestly wouldn't really recommend going here because it was packed with tourists.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Less of that.
I've actually got I'll get it up or whatever if there's time. But I have a thing of me walking through this town with my camera. I just put it. It's the worst angle ever, but you can just hear how horribly busy it is there. It would have been horrible for Charles. You would have died. But anyway, either way,
for other reasons.
I still got quite a feeling seeing this, and there was a church there as well, a Catholic church, and I just went in there, and I was like, wow, I can't believe how comfortable I feel with this because I'd been around all different cultures and very interested in them and all of that, with different religions. But then when I was returned to the one I know, I felt really a lot of kinship with it and a lot of comfort, and I actually started crying. And that made me go, okay, so it was like a bit of a religious experience.
Yeah.
From the building.
What did
from
they
being
put in
a
your
building.
water?
What did they put in my holy water? Because there was holy water there as well. And again, I'm not like, oh no, if I don't do the sign of the cross when I walk in, I'm gonna go to hell kind of thing. No. But the ritual of it, knowing my ritual, I was like, you know what, I still value this. I'm sorry. It was just how I felt from it. And being in the old things as well, that like Zaxx said. That was the experience I had, and then that made me come back and read the Bible. So,
someone has to leave.
No. This is like deep interpersonal shit. I can wait.
Oh, no. Bye, Galente. Thank you for coming. I know it's late for you.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I also the reason why I consider myself agnostic is because I also had a moment that made me feel like I may have had some sort of spiritual connection that I can't define. Spherical. But spiritual connection that I can't define. Which is the main reason why I can't just discount it entirely. So hearing somebody else's severe, oh my goodness, sugar gliders are so goddamn cute.
Oh my lord.
How do you not believe in a god when something that cute exists? Okay.
Because if there is a god, they also made the platypus. Right?
That's how you know God has.
What have you got against platypi?
Well, because they have a fucking barb on their back foot that is poisonous, and if it stings you, it will cause you enduring pain for weeks on end, to the point where over 50% of the people who get stung by platypuses kill themselves to get rid of the pain.
Wait, it's the American Gimpy Gimpy?
Like, yeah. Like, this is not a lie. Like, platypi are, like, sorry, the actual term is platypuses. But yeah, platypuses are genuinely a deadly force on human beings. But only in the aspect that the humans kill themselves. The poison can't kill you. It just causes such excruciating pain that you don't want to fucking live anymore.
And they're a mammal that lays eggs.
They don't even lay eggs. They lay their own fucking cervixes and then regenerate.
Ew.
It's insane. And then
why do you know so much about that?
Yeah, why do you know so much?
Because platypuses are fucking an amazing phenomena of like animals. Like they are mammals because they do like feed their young with milk and have hair. However, they don't have nipples. They don't have teats. They sweat milk from their underbelly, and their babies with their little duckbills slurp it up from between the hairs. It's gross as fuck.
All right, Peterson, answer the question. Why do you know so much about this?
Because platypuses are like the weirdest fucking mammal that exists, and once you start going down that rabbit hole, like there's so much more to learn. Like, so they are the most alpha Chad animals that exist. They are 1 male to 10 females, not just because they reproduce on those rates, but because of males fucking kill each other so relentlessly and are hyper territorial. Yeah. But platypuses are worth looking up. They're fucking crazy, man.
So platypuses are why you're agnostic.
Dude, if you made that, like, it feels like there's some sort of design and humor going into that, but like at the same time, like, that's not why. It's because I had a spiritual moment. But
Platypus.
I've seen too much suffering in my life to believe that there is a benevolent God. So like, I just don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, thank you guys. Sorry for rambling at my last few fucking seconds.
And thank you.
Look up
for-
platypuses and they're
You know, their
Thanks for
suicide
informing
mortality
us all.
rate.
Mm.
All right. Bye, guys. Love
Bye,
you. Forget
guys.
about
Later.
platypuses and live a good life.
I can.
I'm looking for my my Macau video. But let's go back to the Peterson debate, because it is the major thing. Are you guys good to continue with that?
Sure.
Okay.
To tell you the truth, I forgot what like the 12 more rules are, but it seems like this thing he was kind of breaking like another couple of them. There was do not hide unwanted things in the fog. I think that kind of applies to this. And then
Oh yeah.
do not allow yourself to become resentful, deceitful, or arrogant. I feel like he came off that way in this one.
But I love being all those three things.
Yeah. How do you operate?
Is that your resting state?
And
Yes.
this is the preciseness that the just we don't even need to go all the way to the old. Should we get a list of the rules?
I got you.
You got me?
Happened twice.
Okay, get it. Like all of them, all 24.
Yeah, I'm working for it.
So we've talked about claim 1 ad nauseum, although it's it's, as long as you all agree that I think he's trying to smuggle. Speaking of fog, he's trying to smuggle this shit in by saying, "Oh, I get the idea that if you're rejecting God, it's because you don't understand him. If you do understand him, you will not reject him." It seems like those two things are together. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No,
You're
I
wrong.
don't think you're wrong. It feels like there's a lot being smuggled into it. Like somebody else was saying, I think Bimo and Galente, but like if you kind of reverse it, like theists accept God, but they don't understand what they're accepting. Like that still sounds pretty messed up. Like I know what you're accepting. There's a bit of mind reading going on in it.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, how many people do you think?
7.
7.
12.
Conceptualize, religious or atheist or both,
Mhm.
conceptualize God as man in the sky.
Oh, more than 7.
There's a few. It's hard
Like
to
a
tell because the
significant
internet
amount,
is
or-
full of liars. But I've definitely heard debates on like the atheist shows or whatever where there is somebody that thinks that. That's the thing. Like everything is a spectrum, so there's different flavors. That is a flavor of theism, but I wouldn't think that's the average.
You have to agree, and then if you don't know, clarify. You know, with
I think that's the
person
only thing you
talk
can
to.
do.
Yeah,
Because if not, you're
It's-
mind reading, and then it leads to at the end is, but that's not what I think.
yeah.
So I don't know. You usually have to kind of ask the other person what they believe. This feels like it's telling you what you believe that you just don't understand.
Yeah, and I don't
do
think
have the
that's
24 rules, by the way.
okay. What are they?
So the first one for starting from rule 1 is stand up straight with your shoulders back, which I'm definitely totally doing right now. Rule 2 is treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. 3 is make friends with people who want the best for you. 4 is compare yourself to who you are yesterday, not to someone else's. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Rule 5 is don't let your children do anything that makes you dislike them, which is a really funny one. I remember that from the book. Rule 6 is set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Jordan. Rule 7 is pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Rule 8 is
he's
the
doing that.
well-known one. Tell the truth or at least don't lie.
Mhm.
9 is assume the person you are listening to might know something you don't.
That's
10
really
is yeah, exactly. 10 is be precise in your speech. 11 is do not bother children when they are skateboarding.
What?
Oh yes,
It's about like basically helicopter parenting.
mhm.
Charles, do you
How-
like to
how
annoy
thing.
children while they're skateboarding?
I
Is that
stay
what we're
away from
getting at?
children at all points.
And rule
Nice.
12, pet a cat when you encounter one on the street.
What?
Mhm.
Let's see.
Yes.
And then the other ones are a little
Not a
more.
fan of cats.
I'm a mind your own
Kitty
business
hates
kind of guy.
cats.
Mhm. That's why I'm anti Peterson, because he
Well
likes
known.
cats. Mhm.
Let's see, which was it? So one for the 12 more rules is do not carelessly denigrate social institutions or creative achievement. 2 is imagine who you could be and then aim single-mindedly at that.
Oh, what is that?
Hmm?
What happened? We got a tip.
Oh, hey. Yeah.
Jab. Let's talk about something less divisive, guys. What's everyone's opinion on trans women? I think
Yes, I'm pro.
religion's actually chilled.
They don't make the sound effect I expect.
What the tips?
No, the transforming sound.
Oh, Neil. Yep, there it is.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Hey, right on cue. What up, MSK?
What's up, MSK?
Hi, MSK.
See, there's the one that Gray kept saying that do not hide unwanted things in the fog.
Mhm.
And 4 is notice that opportunity lurks where responsibility has been abdicated. 5 is do not do what you hate in quotations. It's
Too late.
very interesting. And then it says abandon ideology is the next one. 7 is work as hard as you possibly can on the at least one thing and see what happens. 8 is try to make one room in your house as beautiful as possible. 9,
Wow.
if I know, right? Clean your room. Like it just goes back to clean your room. 9, if
What if
old
you don't
memories
have, you've
still
only got
upset
like
you.
one room? I suppose that's the one. Yeah.
9
I mean,
is
surely you've got a bathroom as well. Make that a palace.
absolutely
a
make
retreat.
that your throne. Thrown overboard. Okay, where is it? If old memories still upset you, write them down carefully and completely. Almost done here. So 10 is plan and work diligently to maintain the romance in your relationship. Okay. 11 is do not allow yourself to become resentful, deceitful, or arrogant. And then 12 is be grateful in spite of your suffering.
Well, I don't think he's doing those things, but I mean,
Mhm.
that's yeah.
He's pretty bossy.
A little bit.
Well, apparently he's also taking care of Tammy. Rule 11. He's working at
Yeah.
that romance, or Rule
Fair.
10. So,
Look, I don't require him to be I don't need him to be following these rules to be able to find them good enough, right? Like, or find yeah. I don't need him to, but at the same time, you do, or you kind of invite this judgment. Okay, hold on, guys. This is what I found. Just hold on.
Oh.
And if you can hear it.
I can't.
Yeah, hold on.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Still can't hear it.
All right. You can't hear. Hold on. I need to. Don't know if it's going. Never mind.
Rex Factum says don't get addicted to Xanax in Uzbekistan. That should be one
Okay.
of the rules for life.
Do better ones.
And then
Okay. Well, either way, we don't need to see that video. Okay. Morality and purpose can't be found within science. Again, this is now also smuggling in. Okay, we can't find morality and purpose here.
is that what
therefore-
science is supposed to be for, though? Like-
No, and I don't think that's what he
But
would have to
yeah.
argue from there.
Wouldn't
That
that, be
isn't what he
like,
argues.
I don't know. What would you say? Like philosophy, possibly social? Well, even then. I don't know. Morality is kind of its own thing. I don't know that science is supposed to get you there. I think there are some cool studies that kind of show that it does seem to be somewhat innate. Like,
Mhm.
one of the atheists on there was bringing up like the chimps and stuff, but I mean, like we all know a whole bunch of stories like that where it does seem like it is kind of a group dynamic thing. So in a way, I guess that would be like social anthropology. What would that be? Where they kind of look back at like where the first socialization happened, and I don't know.
Yeah, it would be.
I guess there's a place for that in some sects of science, but it doesn't seem like that's what science is meant to do.
Yeah, it's not. Science would reveal it, as in like describe it. That's it. It would describe the states of things. It's not that it works to give us the morality. Like, we don't need to go and be scientists in order to find out what morality is. We could explain how we evolved. This is what I understood from the atheist, is that we can explain how we evolved morality through a scientific process. That does not mean that science itself needs to be, we could just go on without thinking about it, right? We could just go on and apply morality ad nauseum for the rest of our lives without looking at it scientifically.
Yes, because
Sounds
science
good.
can work towards the how, not the why,
Sold.
which is the morality.
As
So
Lord Cameron
what-
points out, there is one branch of science, evolutionary psychology, that is kind of looking at that, and they are looking at how, specifically like morals did form throughout them. I know there's some primatologists who also go and they look at kind of the social patterns between them, and then they kind of look at what groups kind of had the same traits in the past. It does fit into some groups of science, but man, it doesn't seem like that's, again, what they're doing. It seems like, and we'd have to agree on a definition of morals. I doubt all of us agree on morality, like what exactly.
Yeah,
it
probably
is.
not.
What I came into contact with this claim was we actually can't remove morality and purpose, right? We can't remove them from culture, from religion. It evolved
No, of
alongside
course not.
us and alongside it. So you can't say it was this or this. It's like nature or nurture, whatever. You actually can't remove them. So even you could say, oh well, morality, without Christianity there would be no morality. We don't know, because we don't know what it's like without religion. Humans evolved religion as they evolved consciousness, so we don't know. And I think that works for an atheist.
I think we can know. I think you just need to Google it.
You just need to Google it. Just ask Grok, actually.
Ask Grok.
Yeah,
That's
just
all you have
ask
to do.
Grok. Hey, Gork, does this work?
And purpose can't be found within science. That doesn't mean, you could say, fine, then it's in philosophy, not in religion. Why must it be in religion? Why must it be in Christianity that I find purpose and morality? Because that would also be part of it. If he was taking the Christian stance, why is he not taking the Muslim stance? So there's that, because there's different sort of moral.
I don't remember
basis.
this claim from the video specifically. What did he argue at this point? How was he arguing this point?
He actually was brought an argument first. So Luke said, your claim, morality and purpose can't be found in science, which is, again, I like this. This guy was saying, you're smuggling in. Look, I know it's small. I'm reading it, so it's fine. You don't need to worry. But he said, look, you're smuggling in that I need to get morality and purpose from religion. Is that? And he's like, is that how you're framing it? And he's like, I would say the domain of religion is the domain of morality and purpose. Yes. Also, that science is actually structured, at least in part technically, to eliminate such considerations from purview a priori. So he's like, science is not supposed to be moral.
So
But
in
then-
short, science is how, religion is why.
Yeah, but I don't think he's saying that exactly. He doesn't stick to it. First, that sounds like he's saying it, right? But then he goes, we say science is value free. Okay, and then he has a problem with science, which is something that happens when he thinks out loud. He will convince himself. He will unconvince himself of something he just said. Because he goes, he's like, it tries to remove in this block. Okay, you don't need to know, but he says we try to remove value and morality, whatever, a priori, because we need to remove it to be value free. That's what we're supposed to be. We say science is value free. But then he's like, no, that's wrong, because scientists prioritize their attention towards something before they can even engage in observation. So there's a layer of value that scientists do put on them to decide. When they decide on a research question, that is a value, which I agree with. But he spent a lot of time on that. It seems like he walked out of his claim by saying that then. I don't know. Because he actually put morals into science by saying there is a value layer.
Yeah, I think
By
so.
saying, because what you choose to study is value.
Right.
So but it seems like his claim is supposed to be that you can't find morality or anything in science. It's got no value, as in like it's got no value layer. And then he goes and puts it in there. So
Right.
it a lot of the time it seemed like he would just go talking. And basically what the atheist's argument would be is, hey, one of this Luke person, what he did, his argument was, morality, we know that slavery is immoral, but it was in the Bible. So
It was fun. It was fun though, right? So more like it's amoral now, but at the time it's also like, source of employment for people. It's, we're gonna make Egypt great again. Like that.
Yeah, exactly. That was how it was. But they landed up going on that tangent because of Luke. Okay, but then other people like Brian and Parker and all of them, they were trying to go the evolutionary psychology route,
Right?
And
Yeah,
say
fuck
that's
that Brian guy.
Which Brian?
Get
I don't know. I heard the name Brian and I'm like, yeah, fuck that guy.
No, basically the fun time with this was they were trying to say, look, we evolved morality. We did, because we're in a group and chimpanzees and whatever. And we could go into talking about evolving consciousness, because that's actually, it's huge and complex. But at some
Right.
point, an atheist also has to then believe one day we became conscious. Everybody has
Oh
to at
my
some
gosh, that is a huge argument I got into that I promptly lost because I was unequipped for, about like defining what the hell consciousness is. Because there's now like this weird thing. There's a weird idea that everything is conscious, and what I think of consciousness is not that. That's for sure. I think you guys and I are conscious,
Fucking Brian.
but
Not
you
me.
get me to try and explain it, and it
Partial
falls
Charles.
apart. That's the thing.
what's the problem with consciousness? Tell us. Play with us.
Well, when you
There's the
when you
hard
noodle
problem.
down, so when you think of consciousness, I think of something that's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you have to define what makes something alive, because there's a lot of things that have moving molecules, moving things in it, that it doesn't have a brain, it doesn't have a heart, but there's constant movement in it. It's creating even a thermal transfer. So is it alive? Does that mean consciousness? You get lost in the weeds so easily in that. So if he went that direction, well, no, consciousness has nothing to do with the Jordan Peterson debate. So I think I should stop derailing.
No. Well, the thing is, he does. He's okay. He didn't say consciousness. He went to conscience. And I think that's deeply tied to consciousness, because you are conscious of what you're doing. You're not just acting on instinct like an animal, where there's input and output, and that's how you're going to act. With consciousness, we have another layer going on.
Consciousness, think when.
Oh God! Next week, okay?
I think this debate was doomed from the start, because even the initial idea of a Christian, I know it didn't end up that way, versus 20 atheists. That's a poor starting place. Like, Christian is so specific, and atheist is less so. If you're arguing the idea of some kind of a God, you could start from there, as opposed to Christian, and then when you're not going to admit you're Christian, it's like it's strange in the way it's set up, where he's attacking them on these specific points from a Christian perspective, but he doesn't present it as being very Christian at all. It's like
No.
you everyone worships something. Well, that's pretty vague compared to Christian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Uh,
he's not arguing for Christianity in that.
No,
He's just taking shots at atheists. So let's see.
right.
So
Yes,
the
and
shot, the
sorry,
shot here. Yeah.
the one where he says that it's like what's worship, and he defines it as
Yes.
priorities. What the fuck?
Yes.
This is not what the debate
Yeah.
was. Is not. He's
Mhm.
he wrecked himself. It's disappointing.
Mhm. Yeah, he did it himself because he created this claim. This everybody worships something, including atheists, even though they might not know it. How is this is this you saying to the atheist, you do believe in something, and the atheist is going, so I do. I don't care. Like I just don't believe in God. That's the thing that I don't believe in. So this argument that you're having with the he should have checked himself. Well, he didn't check. Either way, he wrecked himself. So, with or without a check.
Hey, Serranos.
I actually have severe doubts he understands Christianity at all based on his debate performance. My dad said that as well. My dad's heavily Bible study man, and he was like, this was a horrible, a poor showing.
Yeah.
And he said that, like, and my dad is very, very primed to not take the atheist side, but he's like, the atheists were pretty good and they behaved better. There were some shitheads, but he's like, they behave better and they're very
definitely. So many people are going to get famous off of like clowning on Jordan Peterson.
Well, Danny, I'm sure, is the one that's but yeah, like this over here is not the own that you think it is. So that's also taking a shot. I suppose that the whole point is you're taking a shot at an atheist and saying, look, you worship something, atheist. Is the atheist supposed to go, okay, Gray, you're an atheist. If you
Sure.
Okay, so Peterson says to you that you worship something. Does that make you go, oh no, I'm no longer an atheist?
There's plenty of bands that I follow, but I don't believe in a god. So I think yeah, sure, I've had feelings of worship, but they are without God. So I don't know. It just, again, there's like a lot of mind reading that's going on with what he's saying. But yeah, it just, I don't know. I was hoping he would be more open. Again, like rule, I think it's 8 from the first list or whatever, just you know, the other person might know something that you don't. So perhaps talk to them instead of telling them what they think. That never seems to work out.
Yeah, instead of telling them what they believe to their soul. This guy in this claim.
Well, what do you mean believe? Would you die for it?
Oh my God, I haven't gotten to that part yet. But yes, what he did here was this guy. He was arguing with this guy, trying to tell this guy that he worships his wife. And it's like, again, it's the same behavior of using those broad definitions that nobody's fucking using. And nobody wants to agree to use, because then it's like, okay, but it's not useful. And that's why everyone goes, oh, it's Sitch's law. This is all Sitch's law. It's like, because that's the tactic that Peterson is doing. It's a lot of the time with Sitch's law, people don't even realize what's going on, but it's his tactic to just use a far out there definition that kind of fits in certain places. And it's like, yeah, but that's not the conversation we're here to have. What everybody means by atheist, and they tried, all of them, like really, I think it's almost all of them try at some point to say, this is what I mean by me being an atheist. I reject that there is an all-knowing and all-good and an all-powerful God. That's what I'm telling you I am as an atheist. Now let's talk about it. And he does not go forward with that. And that then is where I get what you're saying, Zaxx, is like it's doomed from the beginning. Because like, what's the point then? If we're not going to interact, you got to interact with, I don't know, believers, atheists. Let's see, how would we interact? What would be the best way for us to engage in this conversation without, just completely blasting each other out of the window, out of the water?
I don't mind getting blasted.
Oh, you're gonna get blasted, Charles. Don't worry about it. So I've had a bunch of kind of atheist debates online. They're kind of fun, but yeah, like people have told me that I do believe and I do worship things, and it's like, yes, but not gods. So I still, it doesn't help that you're now redefining it this way. Like, please listen to what I'm saying. I don't worship a god. I don't believe in a god. So can we move on from there? I don't know. It just it kind of sucks. I don't know why he's kind of pivoting to these kind of strange beliefs that could be rather easily. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to define what an atheist is to me.
Yeah, this is a concession that an atheist should be happy to make. Not happy, but like just is fine to make, because like, yeah, I know.
Right.
I'm living my life. The whole point of me being an atheist is this is what I reject. This is what I'm not onto.
Yeah.
So yeah, that claim 3. Let's see what was claim 4. Atheist accepts Christian morality. So this is again, okay. So they accept Christian morality but deny the religion's foundational story. So they don't believe. I haven't gone through this one, but they don't believe in, I suppose, a Christ existing or any of that. But they actually, it's like a gotcha. They decided this is where you got your morality from, which is, it's kind of relates to this other claim here. It's that these two are related. They're brother and sister. Claims
Kind of still like follows along the cultural Christian lens that he was trying to argue from.
Yeah, but again, yeah.
Atheists accept Christian morality but deny the religion's. Yes, there are plenty of people, even those I wouldn't say like that are atheists, that like they see the morals that are put forward in the Bible and say that this is good for society. That's what the founding fathers even did.
And what's wrong with that? It's like, oh, so like we've got an Adam, right? That's like an atheist for Jesus. So like, what's wrong with that? This is not the own that you think it is, Peterson.
No, and I feel like all of these claims so far have been really hard to, like, how do you back up your argument? What is your argument? Is it solid at all? Because there's so many little ways that you can just go out in the weeds and never actually get to the meat of this question or this claim, I mean.
And so do you think design?
But no, he's saying that he rejects that they accept the values of Christianity or
But
the
reject
basic
God.
Christian values, but reject God.
Yeah.
And that's a yes, right? Like, I don't know.
It would be a yes for most people that you argue with about this.
But this now Gray. Okay, so Gray, you're the most atheist. Yeah. So this, what he's trying to do is say that all the morals that you have are from Christianity anyway.
Yeah,
So
I
he's telling
highly
you-
disagree. I have rules against slavery. I have a perfectly acceptable amount of power that I'm willing to give women. I want them to vote. I can't see where that's in their book.
How do you feel about
I don't know.
shrimp,
My
though?
morals seem to be slightly more modern than theirs.
Mhm.
But I don't know. It really depends, because I think any Christian that I talk to is going to have slightly different morals.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Meat
From
on
talking to a
Fridays?
whole bunch of different people online. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know that there is some universal morals that everybody gets.
Mhm.
And then on top of it, if you're going to move to the Jiminy Cricket, like the conscience thing, excuse me. I don't know. We don't all share the same values. There's plenty of, unscrupulous leaders of faith. Just because they have the book or whatever doesn't mean that they're all of a sudden actually practicing what they preach. I don't know. I find it hard to believe that it's like, no, this group is good, this group is bad, and it's all just religion. If you have anything good in your group, it's just you borrowed it from this. I think these are deeply human experiences and traits, and I don't think one group can claim all of them.
And that's exactly what he's doing with this claim. He's just going with all of these claims. It's like it's doing a big broad. I guess you have to, because of the format, because of the conversation. You have to have that. You have to make these big broad claims because that's how the conversation goes. What claims would you put in here, panel, to get this going? First of all, before we answer that question, think. But before you answer that question, the atheist claim. So I think everybody comes with a claim.
Okay.
And then if Peterson chooses them, If the surrounded person chooses them, then they get to make their claim.
Right.
So what she's done, she goes, Jordan Peterson's framework for understanding Christianity is probably not the one the Bible intended us to use. Compare this claim to his claims. His claims obviously have to be, well, I don't know. Obviously, is that I'm saying obviously, maybe I'm wrong.
Question mark.
But his claims are very general, but hers is very much because she can be, because he's the person she's talking to. Could you use this kind of approach in these claims to make them less egregiously broad?
I can't
think so.
Ah,
Now
Yeah,
it truly is blacks.
yes, it is blacks now. Thank you, Scout, for that.
Like
On that,
screw
Zaxx
this
has been
company.
unfriended.
No.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, that movie.
sorry to interject.
I like that movie.
oh,
I
a
need to
Dorkus
get going.
interjection.
Oh,
no.
Dorkus.
Sad interjection.
What a Dorcas.
Yeah. Tell us where you're going.
I will not. But No One Asked You podcast has stuff airing 2 times a week at least. So
Based.
check it out.
Check out his channel. It's growing nicely.
Yeah, and go and be make him accountable. Book accountability group. Go.
Yes.
He doesn't have anyone in his Doom readouts that know that Dune is actually a bad series.
What?
No,
Stop
it's
reading
not a
books.
bad series. Get out of here.
I-
What is it called? Book accountability. So, yeah.
in the bag, something like that. But I finished Dune, so now I'm gonna talk about the Aeneid. So
Mhm.
All right.
we'll see what I can ramble about. Have a good talk about God.
Talk about God. Yeah.
Happy
Thanks.
Pride Month, Dorcas.
I'll pray for
See
you,
you, sir.
Dorcas. I'll pray for you.
Sweet.
Oh no, I almost ended the stream instead of
That would have been hilarious.
Oh no.
Nobody
That
has
would've
ever
been awesome.
done that before. That would be Annika.
Don't
I
do
did
that.
that on one of my streams. It's like, well,
Okay,
I'm gonna go. Just ended it. It was great.
I'm clicking leave studio.
See ya.
Bye. The studio will not let him go. Oh, look how shitty that
That's
is.
weird. Okay, why is it like that?
Well,
That is weird.
Oh,
That shit really
it's-
bothered me.
The ghost of Dorcas was still here. It was weird.
Mhm.
What
Oh
a
my
dork.
gosh, Charles, I like your trousers. I was gonna say your pants, but your wife would be like, "What is this woman doing?" Talking
my
about
wife would say
pants.
knickers.
Knickers.
Whoa.
I really needed to hit that cuh.
I know. Very, very.
Yeah, your wife is pretty based. Jesus.
Pants, please.
That's a delicate operation. that
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And her accent's a little bit more
Comfy
soft. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
one.
Oh, right, pants. Sure.
Well, guys, we have spoken about the debate ad nauseum. Is there anything more you want to go through? Because we have other things. Dorkus
One
actually was supposed
final
to.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I wish he was here because he's the book guy, and it was book news. But what do you think? So he puts out a claim that essentially is like, for you to believe something, you would want to die for it, or
Stake
you would
your
be
life
willing
on
to
it, yeah.
die for it. Yeah, you'd stake your life on it.
Yes.
Does anybody conceive believing in something that same way, or does that just seem so out there for me? Like,
It's out there.
there's plenty of
It's
things that I
way out there.
believe, but
I don't know. It
Okay.
depends.
It's a principle check that he's trying to do there. It's like, if you truly believe it, would you, like, gun to your head, still say you believe it?
Yes.
It's a principles thing, I guess.
Did it-
It doesn't work though. It doesn't
It
work
doesn't. No.
at all. Would I
It-
die
like-
for it? What do you mean?
Yeah, as a default definition for belief. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how that helps us.
Because just making sure we all have the same general definition, to believe something is to think something to be true, right?
Yes.
Yes,
and
that's
they
or
it.
try.
will
They
happen,
try.
or is happening?
What will?
Like, I believed that it wasn't going to work out well for Elon and Trump, but I wouldn't have staked my life on it. I don't know.
Yeah, there
Right.
are a couple of people that believed something enough to die for it, and they ended
For
up in the
sure.
World Trade Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the
Yeah.
term though? People don't die for things they don't believe in.
Is that the term?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
I don't know about that. I've watched a whole bunch of like Darwin Awards. Some people are just unfortunate.
Man, I'm dumb.
I mean,
Okay.
influencers dying by falling off things. Like, do they believe in something? I mean, I don't know. It obviously didn't work.
Yeah.
In their mind, they go, "I believe I am falling. I am off my feet."
Ah,
So
so they
does,
believe.
does believing have to include this action?
No.
No, it's just
Yeah, but
edgy
I
to
don't
say it
think
that
so.
way.
Yeah.
Can't you
It-
can be converted from your belief? Like,
Yes.
so
I think so. So do you now stake your life on the opposite of what you believed before?
Nah, chill.
Like, do you just have to go from extreme to extreme, or can it be a spectrum of like, yeah, I believe this, but if you told me I'm wrong, like, cool.
So, I mean, the way that I had this conversation before is: do you believe that Napoleon existed?
Yeah.
I
don't know.
think
I
so.
I
I
I've got
also
no reason to
believe
think
he
that he
was
didn't.
3'2".
I don't believe that, but the fact that there are like tests that have been done on his hair to show like the levels of arsenic, I think we've got proof that he existed. But
Was-
if you
Mhm.
told me that was all a fabrication, yeah, all right. I don't think that
Whenever I-
like rocks me to the core.
whenever I go to the ice cream aisle, I know it exists. So
It's
Right.
true. Best flavors. Well, Spumoni comes a close second.
Ooh, Spumoni. Haven't had that in forever.
You
a
would
weird-
die. That would die for Tom Cruise. Okay,
Well, who
and
would?
Tom Cruise would
Have you
die
seen
for
him
film.
run?
he would. He would. Every time he will die for he's gonna at some point.
Yes.
Sure.
Promise.
Oh, sad.
Napoleon
I
was
didn't
a
want to think
trans
about
black
that.
woman.
But like the alternative to belief is not usually death. Like it's
That's what Grandma said.
I believed I was gonna like the seafood chowder, and I didn't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm still
Yeah.
alive.
I thought it was going to
Like-
be good when I ordered it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, but it's not. So, but I didn't die for it. I believed it enough to order it and to pay for it.
Your
but
hunger
yet
died for it.
it didn't kill me.
So
I
this,
don't-
this tactic of would you die for it? What is that? What is
It's
he
stupid.
doing?
I
He's
don't
just-
know. It feels like a dodge and just
Yes.
really out of the same thing with the hypothetical. So it's kind of the classic. So if you are what is it? So it's a deontologist, but if you're it's not rules based, but essentially you'd have to have one rule that's a categorical imperative. So like if you say nobody should lie, then the classic one is like, okay, so you're hiding some Jews in your attic, the Nazis knock on your door, would you tell them they're up there? And he just like refused to engage in
Oh
it.
my God.
I wouldn't put
I don't
myself in
know.
that situation.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah,
he
which
went
is
with
an
it.
easy dodge. It's just, come on, answer
Not
the
an
fucking
easy dodge.
question.
Yeah.
No, what I mean by easy dodge is he's not engaging at all.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
what I mean by that.
and everybody knows it. It doesn't look good. You're not being
No.
smarter than the other person. You're really looking like shit. And
No, I think he should have been called out for like just being emotional, and like he's like, hey, maybe we should take 10 minutes for you to calm the fuck down,
oh, that would have been worse. Can you imagine that? That would have been that.
because you could see like his scowl was getting deeper and deeper
He
and
was like
deeper.
this the whole fucking time. I couldn't-
I'm done with
Uh,
this
He was
guy.
angry the whole time. But Bimo, can I ask you a question if you don't mind?
Hey, what's up?
Are you hiding any Jews right now?
Yes,
Okay. How
He's-
many you
he's
got?
trapped
'Cause I got 6.
Jesus
Mhm.
Christ.
I don't know how many do you want.
Wow,
Um,
you
We'll
might
talk trade
win.
later. We'll talk trade later.
All right, hell yeah,
So yeah,
for free range, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Yes.
Shoshana.
Anyways,
So I don't know. He was saying like, his only answer to it was he wouldn't have allowed himself to get to the point where he would have to make that lie. Everything is a sin at that point. So I'd want to ask him, okay, were the people who kept Anne Frank in her attic, were they sinners?
No.
Like according to him, or I
Yeah,
don't know.
I-
Like I wish he had explored any part of that hypothetical instead of just like not willing to engage in it.
Depends on who wins the war.
No.
I think he should have been asked the
Hey,
question
Rex.
of like, if you were born in Germany at the time, would you have supported Hitler?
Yee.
I feel like he should have been asked that question because
No, but
most
he's-
people that
he's
grew
right.
up in Germany supported Hitler.
He says he
No,
would.
he
said-
he said
He
that
should.
himself.
Yeah. He should
He
say
did say
that.
that?
He said
Yeah.
that before. Yes, previously. That's one of his
He-
things.
He has, I think is it Ordinary Men? He was talking about this book where they talk about how these ordinary men were essentially able to then become what became like SS officers.
Yeah.
It's really kind of horrible. And he has at that point said, you know,
Sorry,
I
Steve.
could see that a normal person could become this. And he essentially said that he could see himself doing that. But in this particular one, he was saying like he never would have allowed himself to get into the position where this would be the
Yeah.
hypothetical could actually happen. So I don't know. It
Which is just a
it also
non-answer.
seems
It is a
it
non-
is, but it also seems to go in the face of what he said before, like Zaxx was saying.
Mhm.
Yeah, he used to be comfortable with inhabiting that very uncomfortable place of saying, I don't know what I would have done. I can't say I would be against the Nazis because you don't know how bad and pervasive it can get, guys. You don't. That was one of the
It's the
first.
belly of the beast.
Yes, that's what one of the first things
Yes.
you learned about him is that he's obsessed with how. One of the things is that he's just obsessed with how a society could get to that point where you had SS people and all of that. That's what he was very interested in. But now he's retreating from it. That was so disappointing. Like, why? Why do you have to do that? And I don't know. I don't know if do we blame the Daily Wire for that? Lots of people are deciding to, but I don't know. I think it's the trolls have really hurt his brain.
I mean, if you've seen his Logos series, which was like
Mhm.
one of the last things I saw from him, that was when he was really trying to do a deep dive again into like theology and the Bible. That's when he brought a bunch of other theologians and popular Christian media influencers, I guess, on and talked to them. Oh, what was it? There was one guy that he argued with that he was called out on this exact thing. Oh, well, what the heck was the guy's name? I forget. If I remember, I'll say so. But it was
Say
about
BMO.
this very
In your-
same way of speaking that he does.
In your Jordan Peterson voice, could you read this chat?
Oh.
Okay, let's see. Jordan Peterson will offer you a Reuben Sando and just bring back the corned beef, then tell you, tough titties, bucko. Now go back and clean my kitchen.
Not too bad. It's very cute having your little wiggly.
It's the belly of the beast.
Say that.
Something about lobsters.
Yes.
Thanks, Granola Grin.
You so for Peterson earlier in his career before he was famous, like if you watch some of his older lectures, he has one fiery one about communism, and he links that together with Nazism and how and how all of those situations progress and how everyone's sitting in the room together. He's lecturing. All believe that if they were the ones to implement these changes, if they were in control, that it would be done differently, and then everyone before them and everyone in that situation also believed that, and yet it's always moving towards the same thing, which is destruction, and that's why those systems can't work no matter who's piloting them. And so that's what got me to blame. Like, he's talking about everyone, he's challenging everyone in that room and himself to really question who they are and how they got to become that way. And I think that's very important that you do that, because everyone says, yeah, I would have done it better. And we do that for every little thing in our lives, right? We do a lot of that stuff beyond running a communist country. We do think, well, if it was me, it would have been different, but it isn't always that way. And sometimes it's like, by the grace of God, go I, basically something, for me, with who I'm working with from my job, which I don't want to get too much into, but like you can see like where their life went wrong or where it turned. And oftentimes it wasn't something that they did that I could have done better that led them to that. And
yeah.
So he was very humble. Peterson was with that stuff. So he's not now. It's a different approach from a different person. And I think he's lost those values.
But he doesn't think he has. He doesn't. He thinks he's still exactly even keeled. He thinks he's kept all of it together. And he sees demons
something
everywhere. He's kept some together, yeah. Like what?
No, I mean like he's just the consistency on
Yeah.
what he means is
Mhm.
probably there. I haven't heard him massively flip on any of his positions really. But
But he
this
jumps.
what was it? There were accusations of him being an example of woke right. Okay. And that's a whole other can of worms to jump into. But the way that
Wow.
he argues in this debate, if you even want to call it a debate, pretty much, just reeks of emotional, no active listening, and just refusal to answer the question. So there was a bunch of those claims of him being woke right. I'm not rambling a fucking lot. Just don't let me talk.
I thought you were supposed to be talking like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Only if someone super chats.
LMAO woke right. Yeah. Well, is that it for Peterson?
I'm
RIP.
Petersoned out.
I think that's the main thing.
I have petered
It's a
out.
disappointment. I don't think any of us like hate the guy, but
No.
Same.
this is I think the weakest performance I've seen from him.
Actually,
It's
12 Rules
what
for
I
Life
finally
was
heard
very
the critics
helpful for me.
Yeah.
It was? In what way was it helpful for you?
Oh, it was another one of those books that just like reminds you to do things.
Mm-hmm.
That's like I used it as that. I listened to the audiobook twice in 1 year, and it just helped me stay consistent with my goals.
Oh, I was saying this debate.
Oh, and this debate?
Oh, no,
Fucking
it was
nothing.
Yeah. I've gotten a lot from him in the past. I think he said some really sensible stuff. Yeah, I think I was. It's on BMO. So what was it? The next.
I want
to hear that Mickey Mouse.
And he was the one challenging
yeah.
men to take responsibility and accountability for their own life. I think that was important at the time too.
Very
Yeah.
much so. And taking a stand when he kind of needed to, and at a cost, and actually
Yes.
spreading the carnivore diet thing too. I mean,
Oh yeah, him and
I
his
don't
daughter.
think that would have been as popular.
His
He's done a
daughter
lot of good.
especially.
But
Yeah.
man, hey, she did the lion diet. It's different, okay? Yeah, I don't know. It's sad. I finally understand what some of the critics were saying about him and how he's not speaking. He's just speaking a bunch of gibberish. I kind of got that finally, and it sucks.
What was it? His downhill streak started happening after his debate with Zizek. Do you remember that? Because that was another one where he did a similar thing of being unable to back the claims that he was making. Or what was
Yeah.
it? Was Zizek?
What was weird-
He was under the impression there was a different question that was going to be asked, or something of the sort. That was
I
the
guess.
excuse he made.
But you're right, though. He was doing a lot of the same things. Like instead of actually like saying, "What is your brand of communism?" he read the Communist Manifesto the night before and then was like addressing that, as opposed to what Zizek was actually doing, which isn't exactly like straight from the manifesto.
Mm.
When was this? Why do I not know this at all?
I want to say it was like
This was a while ago.
2019-ish.
Do I need to find a link for you?
While ago. That's yeah. There should be super chat tier for reading various copy pastes in Mickey Mouse. Copy pastas. Oh wow. A tier. Well, we could work on it. But let's get into as much as
It was
Do we-
close to some people's favorite day. It was Friday, April 19th of 2019.
Nice.
Oh,
So what are we doing now?
Something completely different.
I think she's gone, guys.
I killed it. I'm so
no.
sorry. I shouldn't have interrupted. I did it one too many times, and
Oh, now there are two kitties, and now there's one. Okay.
sorry for interrupting. I didn't mean to cause all of this. My bad. It was
419
close to
plus
420.
10.
I thought I would say it.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
it said something went wrong.
Yeah. You
Agreed.
left the stream.
That's all it said to me. That's the reasoning it gave me. Thanks.
Imagine if Peterson was asked the question, do you know what you had for breakfast yesterday?
Oh,
Be
shit.
Mickey.
Steak.
What do you
You're
mean
supposed to
by
still-
yesterday? What do you mean by breakfast? What do you?
Breakfast.
It depends what you mean. Oh.
I don't have breakfast. Oh.
Mm. Is she doing call-in? Who are these people? These people are thinkers, and we do this once a week, where we do a think together, because it's tough just talking to myself, you know.
You.
Right?
Maybe
Or
we're
you.
not here. Who knows?
Charles is the heel of the show.
So George R. R. Martin fans, anyone?
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
like his
4 episodes.
Okay.
Wait, you're
Rating.
equating him to episodes? That's D&D's baby. He's got his own thing, okay?
George R. R. Martin?
Yeah. He writes books, man. That show, he doesn't claim all of it.
The show?
He doesn't claim all of it, of the show.
Yeah.
That's not.
In a
Nemo's saying that he's only seen 4 episodes, so it is very far away from the book. The books are very different, sir. They are much better than that, but fair enough.
I did read A Song of Ice and Fire a long time ago. I barely remember it.
Really?
It was good.
Barely.
So we've had yeah.
I was just gonna say, a big fan of his work, and when he's branched out, I just think he writes way too slow. It really sucks.
As someone who reads Brandon Sanderson, you would probably you've been spoiled.
Well, like anybody else, I've read like so many different series and completed them, like in the time that it's taken him to not write a book.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's an asshole. And he's trolling us, and he does it. He writes for money for the most part. I think that's going back. If you follow him far back enough, when he used to wear disco clothes for interviews, that was pretty fun. He was writing for money, and now he has money. And he's still writing and doing stuff he wants to do, but he's not passionate about finishing these books. Clearly, maybe he never was, but he really likes money. He likes
Who doesn't?
the finer things in life, which there's nothing wrong with. And I don't think he's going to finish. He's not going to finish these books. But
as Sentient Dildo points out, he's a gardener, and just the crops haven't come in lately.
He's a gardener and doesn't want to go outside. So I think he's a New York Giants fan. I think is one of his things. Jets or Giants, I'm not sure. But he likes watching. He likes describing food and talking about football. Holy shit! What's going on behind you?
My husband's leaving me.
Oh,
been there.
Yeah, been there. The alpha tested his ending, realized it sucked, and he doesn't know how to fix it. Isn't he like dying?
He should be dead.
All of those, maybe. He doesn't look like he's in good health right now.
Not a blog. Let's see. I want to read the actual. Hear it from the horse's mouth. Not a blog.
It's a horse?
Does anyone see any positive to him, like actually finishing the book series?
No.
Like, isn't it just
completed,
going to
man.
disappoint?
Yeah, no matter what,
Yeah.
it's going to disappoint. Yeah.
It'll finish it though.
I think, but honestly, we could have this conversation, right? If it was me, I don't know if I would. I don't think I would finish it either.
Okay.
But if it was me in his situation, why finish it?
What's the motivation?
Right. I don't know if I would. I would if it was me, but if I was him, I don't know if I would. The wild cards was cool. Yeah, that's true. I read those. What do you guys think? Like, would you, if you were him, knowing what we know, would you finish the book?
I can't see any upside to it. Like, you still have relevance while people are waiting for this amazing thing, but can it ever live up to that hype? Like, I don't think so. And then somebody can finish it posthumously. You'll bring in like the next Brandon Sanderson, or get one of the grimdark. Like if you could get Joe Abercrombie to finish it, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work out too well for the girl with the dragon tattoo. The guy who wrote the books died while writing the 4th one, and then they finished the 4th one, and it's not quite that good in comparison.
It's not fantasy.
You're not fantasy.
And we had Wheel of Time. That
Wheel of
it's
Time,
not
yeah.
grimdark, but I mean,
Well-
It would be better if it was grimdark.
So
Is this
Lady
is this the
Balefire,
one that? Yeah.
she like he owns a bookstore, and she's been to his bookstore, and
Oh, sweet.
she's talked to the staff there quite a bit, and apparently he's super lazy. And even getting him for his own bookstore to sign books, it's they have to harass him to get him to do that, even though it's his idea. So
Oh, damn.
that's how they presented it to her anyway. So it's like
Mm.
they're supposed to be having you're supposed to have all these sort of special editions in the store to sell because it's his fucking store, and they can't stock them because he just can't get around to signing his name on things.
Wow.
That's
He's
kind
already
of-
lived a life that he wanted to live.
I suppose.
I see
Yeah,
Alex
he's
Garland's
won.
name at the top there.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
about the Elden Ring. A24
Oh no shit.
is a first
Yeah,
rate.
he gave
director.
ideas for Elden Ring's story.
Where is this blog post everyone's talking about though?
Why
I don't
does this
know.
website look like it's from 1998?
I think he likes
because
having
he's
it.
lazy. We established this.
Yeah.
Zaxx just
Like, he
told
could-
you.
Yeah,
he could
yeah,
pay
yeah.
someone to make this, but I think he likes it this way. This was May 28th. It's an adaptation of Howard's novella A Dozen Tough Jobs. He's talking about somebody else's stuff. Let me see. With Ground News, George R. R. Martin criticizes other writers working with his material. Often they do not improve it. Well, at least they make something with it, love. Game of Thrones writer weighs in on kick-ass Elden Ring movie plans. Lame. We don't. Is not happy
Yeah.
with Winds of Winter fans. There we go. Let's see from Forbes.
Zero coverage on the left. Zero.
In
That's
recent
funny.
blog posts. So this. Okay, so it's in that one. Okay, he says it's in this one. Because you said, oh, hold on, oopsie. Where is my fucking thing? Where's the Forbes thing, Chinsia? Where did it go? Guys, there it is.
We need the Jeopardy theme playing.
Fans, of course. Okay. In a recent blog post about a film adaptation of Howard Waldorf's novella A Dozen Tough Jobs, Game of Thrones author takes a diversion to let his feelings about upset fans be known in no uncertain terms. Okay, so it is this Waldorf one, right? Okay. Waldorf. Okay. Waldrop. Okay, I know. Some of you will just be pissed off by this, as you are by everything I announce here. Okay, that it's not about Westeros, the Winds of Winter. Okay, you have given up on me or on the book. This is quite. Is he okay? When I read this, I was like, whoa. I will never finish Winds. If I do, I will never finish A Dream of Spring. If I do, it won't be any good. I ought to get some other writer to pinch hit for me. I'm going to die soon anyway because I'm so old. I lost all the interest in A Song of Ice and Fire decades ago. I don't give a shit about writing any longer. I just sit around and spend my money. I edit the Wild Cards books too, but you hate Wild Cards. You may hate everything else I've ever written. The Hugo winners and the Hugo losers. A Song for a Liar. And Dying of the Light. Sand Kings. And Beauty and the Beast. This Tower of Ashes and the Stone City. Old Master. He's like, hello, by the way, these are all things that you can read by me. And all the other anthologies I edited with my friend. Okay, you don't care about any of those. I know. Okay, I'm glad you know. Okay? You don't care about anything but Winds of Winter. Yes! You've told me so often enough. Yes.
Well, he's
Right.
had some other cool shows and stuff, like other IP that he's definitely sold. But, you know, the thing that kind of brought him to the center of everyone's attention was the promise that we were
Yes.
going to get this book series.
This is your hit series. This is your magnum opus. This is the thing that like, you know, this is what you're known for. He came back, guys.
Yay!
Congrats.
Did he bring the milk?
You didn't know he forgot something here. Oh, but he is. I really think Hunty. I think he is. I think Hunty. I think he is really just whiny in this.
He's been involved in other cool things. Like, I think it's unfair for him to say that, but people are really excited for this to finally end. But I don't know. There's this really cool show, Dark Winds, that I think he's executive producer on. Like, hell yeah, that show's awesome. But you know, where's Winds of Winter? I've been promised something.
Yeah, I care about them all more than you can ever imagine. So it's like, okay, if you care about them, then finish it. I loved A Dozen Tough Jobs the first time I read it. So he just goes, oh, he finishes this. He's like, oh, I care about that. And then he's like, oh, by the way, it saddens me that he did not live long enough to see the film. I hope we did him justice. How can we not? For those who do, the Hollywood Reporter broke the story. Current mood determined. Is it? Are you? Just.
Why is
just
this website from
silence.
1998?
I don't know.
I'm not the only one
That's
said
when
that.
he last cared. Come on.
Is it a blogspot page?
It's not a blog. Didn't you read the headline?
And look,
No, I didn't actually.
he made sure it's copyrighted for this year. Oh, and you can do an
Okay.
RSS feed for it. Yeah.
Aw, that's adorable.
Yeah. I guess
What is he
I
determined to do?
understand. And what is he determined to do? Interesting.
Yeah, his mood is determined. What is he determined to do? Because he's not finishing Winds of Winter.
Keep living, I suppose. Interesting.
Definitely not spending money if that's what you think he's doing. He made it clear in his blog.
Yeah, sorry.
Not a blog, sorry.
Not a blog. It's not a blog. He was. I know he was annoyed about how they dealt with season 2 of House of the Dragon, for good reasons. Like they did screw up parts of the story.
No, that would be a fun thing. But Squiddy just said, "Let AI in GRRM's style finish the story so we can at least have an ending."
I think what AI would
That's
do with it
done.
is just kill everyone. Because that's his style. Just kill
Right, yeah,
everyone.
true.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
that's the natural ending.
So this is Porphyrion. It's a
Porphyrion?
Timotheosis.
Por favor.
Theoius says that is one of the most overrated artists of our time, but I enjoy
Oh.
him.
Jackson
He
Pollock.
is good, but I guess it's scary when you've made something that everybody loves so much. You are bound to disappoint them
Totally
with the
relatable.
ending. Huh?
Totally relatable.
Yeah. You're bound to disappoint them, so you just don't. You just never. If I don't, I'd rather fail by not doing it than do it and fail. I suppose is where he's at.
Can you imagine though? Like he has already seen how people have reacted to what his ending is going to be. Like, Can you imagine like already knowing it's going to be an execution that you're going to be heading towards, to then put all the work in to finishing it up, to maybe fill it out, to then go to your own execution, and hope it's not as bad as people remember it having been. It's what's the motivation to do that? Unless he's going to change it, which he can't. But he can't change it. I don't think. Not he can change the way they get there, but he can't change his ending.
Yeah, but that's what I was okay with. I was okay. At the end of this TV show, the series, I was like, you know what, fine. If that's where they land up, that's fucking crazy. But I'm sure that he had a better way to get them there. That's what I thought.
Right.
That it would be better, and maybe it wouldn't be as clunky the way it was written. So
It can't be that. The dragon can't melt the throne. Come on.
I don't know. I had faith in him at that point. I was like, you know what, he could make it cool. The same thing could happen. I know how good books can be next to their adaptations. So it's okay. He could make it work. I was okay with that. But I guess he's not.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work. I think you're right. A lot of work to put in and then be burnt.
Right.
Yeah,
Just can't see how it would work out in any way. It just seems like no matter what, you're gonna lose. But
so should we just not talk about him ever?
I
Never.
don't think so. Apparently, talk about his other stuff again. Dark Winds. I think they're on like season 3, just wrapped up.
Where do you watch that?
I think it's AMC, or it was. I think it's on.
What's it about?
Hulu? I don't know. Native American, I think Navajo police. It's Joe Lee Porn, and I can't remember the other dude's name, but yeah, they're like these book mysteries. Somehow he's like the executive producer of the show. No, it's like in the 70s. It's a period piece. I think it's 68 is the first season and 71 is the second, and I don't remember.
That's not far enough. I need it to be medieval.
Oh.
It is not medieval. It is 70s. It's groovy.
I watched the first couple episodes. It was pretty interesting, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, he can do other things, I guess. I forget what that sci-fi one was that didn't last very long. But I don't know. He makes some other interesting things. Like he originally was, I think, selling sci-fi stories was kind of how he got his start. So,
yeah,
some of those are interesting ideas. But yeah, I don't know. None of those really took off like Game of Thrones.
Night Flyers was his sci-fi series, and I heard it wasn't very good.
That's right.
I never watched it though, because I heard it wasn't very good.
I started it and didn't make it far.
Yeah, probably no boobs in it.
We have one more topic to cover with you gamers.
To cover.
To cover.
You gotta.
The price of games, because apparently Nintendo Switch 2 games, one of the flagship games, is going to be $80.
Yes. Yeah.
And that caused shit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
$80 a dose, though? Sorry, for the Switch dose games?
So
Switch dose game.
There's a couple things that are going on there. So it's a multi-factor issue. It's they broke the dam on like pricing for games. So it was $60, then it moved up to $70 for like 3 years. Now we're going into $80, possibly $90 or $100 if you believe the rumors about GTA 6. There's an argument for it being connected to like, okay, let's just match up with inflation. Right. But also I think there's a problem with that, because especially in Nintendo's case, if you are buying the product, like not digital, though it's the same price as physical, the physical is just a download code. There's no actual data on the cartridge that you buy.
Plastic. You're getting a printout.
What?
Yeah.
Do they at least still taste bad?
Apparently they do not have the taste anymore.
What? But kids will die.
Of course they will. I mean, Nintendo wants that, because at least they bought a Switch first. Like that's what matters. But yeah, it's the lack of getting an actual thing physically and being able to have that I take part of an issue with it. Regarding pricing specifically, though, I feel like a lot of games that come out these days are generally not finished or have all their content. So I feel like even $60 is sometimes hard to pay for. So why am I being expected to pay $70, $80 for these things?
Are you getting more? Yeah, are you getting more for it?
Exactly. I don't think I'm getting more if I'm paying more for it.
But
Heck,
inflation.
I kind of feel that way with Monster Hunter Wilds right now.
Ooh, those are tough words. You will have to have that debate with Kid in just 1 second. Just
definitely.
A moment of clarification. So if you buy an actual physical cartridge, it is nothing now? It just comes with a code?
It is a cartridge.
So why would you buy anything physical? Like, why wouldn't you just go to the in-app store?
That's a very good question, and I'm pretty sure that they want that to be the case because it costs less money that way. Then you don't have to sell, you don't have to ship product. Mm-hmm. It's all digital.
Follow-up question. Was the price this high before the tariffs were announced, or were the prices announced? Ah, damn it. Okay.
You are paying for the box.
What they said regarding the tariff is that they are not raising the price of the games past a certain point, but all the accessories are going to be higher in price. But they already were stupid high to begin with. So
I can't believe that the games have been as cheap as they are for
I agree with
For
that.
that long.
as long as they have. Yeah, because
that's a
I
fair
paid
point.
$50 for Nintendo games back in the day.
Yep.
And that was, what would that be now? $120, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's been competitive, and I think it has to be because of piracy to an extent with all these PC stuff. You can't get too crazy with the prices, or we're just going to steal it, which is what's going to happen with streaming services, I think, and what a lot of people are already
100%.
doing with the streaming services is just we're going back to stealing it because Netflix made it easy to pay for it and just get what you want, and then now it doesn't work that way so much. So I think they have to be careful with their pricing to not piss people off and have them just steal shit. And I think they do a good job of see, I would never buy these like massive sets where you get like a map and a fucking figurine and a helmet or some shit, but
Any of
people
those deluxe
do buy
editions,
them.
yeah.
And
Definitely.
at least you feel like you get something for that. You see those openings. It does look pretty cool. If I was someone who displayed things like that, then I might be into that. I think that's another way to give people something for their money and charge them a bit extra for it. But yeah, I'm surprised they've been as cheap as long as they have, but I don't know what the price would be where people just steal it.
$60.
Right. And with Game Pass, does that change anything price wise?
See, I guess that depends, because if you value, like, I think that Game Pass personally is a great value. I think it's awesome. I know there's like 3 tiers that you can pay for, but it affords you a bunch of games that stay on there as long as you're paying for the service. Freaking awesome. Even though, like, I didn't know that they did like day one releases on Game Pass as well until Expedition 33 came out, because apparently it's on Game Pass, which means Charles can play it. But
Charles.
Yeah, Charles can play it. That would be fun actually to watch. Not gonna lie, you should think about that, Charles.
Charles, as an ex-pro gamer, what do you feel about the price of gaming now?
Yeah,
I completely echo Zaxx's sentiment. I remember buying PlayStation, Nintendo 64 games. Nintendo 64 was considered expensive because it was a cartridge, and it was like $59.99. Sometimes
at the
65.
lowest end.
Right.
007 was $109.
Was it that much, really?
Yeah. There was a magazine that I used to keep for a long time that had gaming cheat codes on it, and it had old advertisements for the Nintendo 64 in it.
Do games have cheat codes anymore? Or
No, sadly. It's not fair. I need my big head mode.
Commands.
Hey?
Is a mod just a cheat code?
Yeah, I think a mod
Have
is
they
a cheat code.
evolved?
I never thought about it that way.
Speaking of mods, okay, so BMO, is there a problem? Are you hearing because I've been out of the gaming community for like months now.
Yeah.
They're on Monster Hunter World, well, Monster Hunter Wilds, which is Monster Hunter is the only game franchise I actually care about currently. And I suppose Skyrim.
You have a good one. Good night, Porphyrian.
Bye, good night. So yeah, what I wanted to say, they are having some sort of problem with cheating in a PvE game.
Yes. It happens quite often. If you go look at the mods on Nexus Mods, there's one mod that constantly gets added in that day, then removed the next. And then it's how to basically skip all the progression in the game, unlock everything all at once, like have infinite health. Like it's basically the God mode cheat for a game that is specifically designed for multiplayer. You have to choose. You have to choose to be solo. So now they're taking an even stricter stance, saying if you associate with these people, you're getting banned too.
Yeah, if you join their quest, because basically they've given a table of like, this is the quest that you got to try and stay away from. But they have said that they would give you an error. So I'm like, cool, give me an error. Don't let me join the quest because I'm not going to filter for myself. Ew, I'm not using my brain. I'm just going to.
Wild.
Yeah.
Acha. But yeah, I mean, I love Monster Hunter Wilds, and but like, yeah, the cheating is a big problem. You just, I don't go and look at open quests because it always has like way more rewards than there should feasibly be. And it's
So
like,
it's
I'm not
actually-
going to taint my I'm not going to taint it, because with crossplay, it made it even worse.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you because I don't remember this being a thing with Wilds. I mean, with World.
It was with World, absolutely. It's just on the
Okay.
PC specifically, because it's a lot
Mm.
easier to cheat on your PC than it is on console.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you would find people constantly that would just like one shot the monster, or give you a ton. They're able to put a bunch of stuff in your inventory, make it completely full, and yeah, you would get banned for stuff like that.
I think that's fine. That's not the point of the game. The game is for grinding. Okay, that's the whole point. And you're looking for those drops.
You gotta
and
like the
everything.
gameplay loop, yeah.
Yeah, you've really, and you know what? The people that were good. Okay, so now I played on console. So correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there was cheating on consoles.
Yeah, there
because
was. It's just harder.
It's just harder, right? And it wasn't as prevalent because I never got that. I never encountered, and I played many hours of it. Yes, I played mostly with my friends anyway. They were the high level people. They weren't cheaters, so it also helps. But I never encountered that, and I had such a good time with Monster Hunter World, and it just doesn't make sense to me to do cheating.
It's just
but
gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
how much was Monster Hunter Wilds?
$70.
And an instance.
Didn't hear
Sorry.
that one.
You didn't? Shadowheart, thank you for the subscription.
Lovingly nicknamed Shart in the Baldur's Gate community.
Shart. That
Shadowheart,
makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah, Shart. Ew, console gamers. No, there's nothing wrong with console gamers, okay? There isn't, because we don't cheat as much as you bloody PC people. And as soon as we get crossplay, this is what happens. This is what you get. Okay? What?
Preach, I guess. But yeah, the cheating, big problem. I've ran into it in Wilds, but I mean, I didn't have that experience with many cheaters in Rise or World. I played Rise a whole lot more, and yeah, I barely ran into any cheaters until last year. I think it's just people want to see all the content in a game, so why wouldn't they just make themselves invincible, right? Or make it really easy.
Well, this goes to one of the articles. Okay, it was a couple of weeks ago, but there was
I remember
the gaming journalists were talking about having like a review mode or something where you can skip certain levels or whatever, so you can see the whole game. What's the point of that?
Well, if you're not there for the gameplay loop, you're just there for to see what the content is. I suppose I can understand why it can exist, but when you're going in and ruining that experience for others, that's where it becomes a big problem. And this is actually something that's happened and caused legal issues with other games, where some people, what was it? There was two teenagers that ruined. I forget what game it was. It was a first-person shooter. It was pretty popular at the time, but like two kids were just cheating on one like public server, and they actually were fined, banned from the game. Like legal action was taken against them.
What? Why legal action? Like, I guess I suppose it's like
damage to a game's reputation and community.
Yeah, true. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because you're being some sort of digital harasser kind of thing.
You're ruining the experience for everyone else, and I think that while it is fun to be the guy that everyone hates sometimes, it's not a great look.
Hold on, we have to go back to George R.R. Martin.
Yes. I found Disco George Martin. This is
Lordy.
One of his older interviews on a Canadian.
He really hasn't changed.
It's a Canadian public television show. Yeah, hardly at all, right? This is real. This is him.
And you should not make any egregious scientific errors if you can help it. And you should basically know what you're talking about. I think that's an obligation that's true of any writer. Particularly in television and film, they don't seem to apply it to science fiction very often. I've had that argument on television shows where they're about to they're using the word galaxy
like
and
his
solar
glasses.
system interchangeably. And
Charles, any thoughts on his look?
I'll say, look, you would never do
Yeah,
this on any other
Charles.
kind of show. I mean, if you were filming an episode of a television
Too hairy.
series set in San Francisco,
Yeah.
you wouldn't put the Statue of Liberty in the harbor, even if it made a real good show, because you would be afraid that people at home would say, but the Statue of Liberty isn't in San Francisco. These
I think
people
I
must
think
be
you would make that
morons."
hat look a lot better.
Which is why they work in Hollywood.
There you go.
Well, that
So
guy looks
that's-
awesome too.
They're
That
all
dude was
awesome.
on freaking cocaine.
This is it's from a Canadian public television show from way back, but they had like a lot of like Neil Gaiman is on, Harlan Ellison is on here, Jack Kirby's on here being interviewed by this weird guy.
He's very weird. He's
He
weirder
is weird.
than the others.
Yeah, but it used to play on a loop, like repeats of it in Canada, so that's why I know about it. But yeah, just go
Is this
George
the
Martin's
first thing
real.
you think of when you hear of him?
Yes, that's right.
All right, ladies. Anything else about game prices? I suppose are you guys going to pay it? It sounds like nobody's really angry about it. I wonder what
I'm
Hydra
upset
would
enough
say.
that I'm not buying a Switch or any Nintendo games, so
I wasn't doing that anyway. Yeah.
I would have.
Me neither.
And if I couldn't buy games, because I don't buy a lot of games actually, I do also do PlayStation Plus because I need it to play online at all. So there are many, many old games that I get per month that they might not be the best ones, but it's not Game Pass by any means, but it's something. And I've got such a backlog that if you had to stop making games today, I think I could still live my whole life and have something to play every day.
Loser.
So, loser. Well, thanks. I bought a Switch 2 and I'll fucking pay it. Did you see the people got Switch 2s, but there was a staple that ruined the screen? I saw
Yeah.
a picture of that.
What?
It was at-
What?
in New York. Yeah. So people stapled the receipt on, and I'm like, what packaging
Oh.
are you putting this electronic thing
Oh.
in that you can staple it and the staple goes all the way through to the screen?
No,
Wow.
it's a hard
Hard.
pass.
I also heard that the magnets for the Switch 2's, like the Joy-Cons, they don't slide on, they're magnets and they attach. Apparently it pinches to such a high degree people started to bleed. I saw a video earlier right
bleed
before the
for shit.
show of a guy
Yeah.
that got his pinky caught and it ripped the skin off.
User error.
I don't like the word rip and skin. I don't
It
like
was
that.
awesome.
Did he
What
finish the
kind of
game?
word? Yeah, he
Yeah,
stuck
you know what?
with it.
Kids today don't know the heartache, the troubles of Nintendo thumb. Like,
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
wear our fucking thumbs out, man.
Yeah.
Why?
Let's go.
Is it because they've made
Why?
better controllers?
That's because it's not like, the directional pad isn't like made of fucking blades.
Yeah, that's true. I
Just,
suppose,
it
yeah.
just wears you down. And I remember there were games where you had to like make circular motions on the Nintendo 64 stick.
Hmm.
And I got like a freaking red hole in my hand because I was just rotating that freaking thing too much.
Sure, that was where it came from.
Uh-huh.
Rotating that thing. I learned a lot.
Likely story.
I do play Debate Club for fun. Like that is what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing for the past few months. I was so excited for Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Wilds. They both start with W, and I was really excited to play it. And then I'm like, oh, but you know what? I should do some diagrams and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at.
That's what kept me away from the game. But there's so many updates right now. Come on, we got to jump in.
Yeah, we gotta. I suppose I'll try this weekend. I've been saying that. Ask Kyle. Kyle's been like in my messages, like, "Hey, hi, do you want to play?" And it's like 2 weeks later. Sorry, I can't play tonight. So it's like, yeah. Anyway, are you playing anything, Zaxx?
Expedition 33.
What act are you in?
First act.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Mm.
Where
Yeah.
are you at?
Where am I at?
Spoilers.
If it's Act 1 and he hasn't reached the end of Act 1, there's not a ton of spoilers. But he's
Just
seen
tell
my
the story.
stream and Cindy's stream, so he's spoiled himself a little bit.
I still only have the 2 party members.
Okay, gotcha.
So, guys, what is the big deal about this game? Just before
Oh my gosh.
cut us off. Yeah.
Allow me to tell you. This is probably my game of the year. It is an incredibly well thought out premise that the writing has enough subtext in it that you can catch what things mean without them being directly stated and it paying off later. It is so freaking well written. It is
So
a
it's a
wonderful,
good narrative.
wonderful story. Yes, absolutely. It is tragic. It is sad, but also lighthearted and comedic at the same time, depending on where you're at in the game. And the way that it was put together, it being an RPG that's turn-based, but the way that the gameplay works, it demands your attention at all times. Like you have to pay attention because on your turn, well, you can mash buttons if you want.
Okay.
But pretty much when it's not your turn and it's the enemy that's going to attack you, you have options because you can parry every attack in the game by just pressing a button and parrying it right before you're going to get hit.
And that's it. So like
Well,
it just
there's
makes
other
you go
things
to
that
the
you can
next
do as
turn.
well. You can
Yeah.
do jumps, you can do dodges as well, but all that's like later on. You can start with parrying and dodging. And yeah, it's just
No,
so
isn't there a debate between parrying and dodging? Come on.
there is parrying is the superior version because
It's
you get more
difficult,
benefit from
can
it.
be.
Yeah, exactly. It looks cooler in a YouTube video to parry.
Please stop saying Perry.
But sometimes they'll do multiple attacks. So they'll attack once. Sometimes they'll attack twice, like one in a different speed. So you have to parry both or else you can't counter. And
Do you have to think fast? Because that's difficult for me.
It just demands your attention. So I would not say
Yeah.
it's a very good stream game.
But I'll
okay,
stream
'cause-
it anyway.
So I mean I stream it anyway because I'm doing my own personal playthrough and then I'm getting up to that point on Saturdays when I'm actually playing the game for stream. So I already know what I'm going through.
nice.
But it doesn't demand your attention to the degree of like let's say you were playing like a shooter or something where it's like you need to focus. But it definitely demands your attention.
Dildo. Define dodging.
Do you know Jordan Peterson? There you go. That's how it is.
I switched to controller. So if you're gonna play it, I first was playing
Highly
mouse
recommend
before.
controller.
Switch to controller. It's a way better experience, Kitty. So yeah, agreed with you.
I do recommend this game. If anything, there's a really easy mode that makes the game easier to play through, so that you can get the story. The story isn't that long, but there's a bunch of side stuff that adds to it. But like, this is a game that has a narrative that I feel like everyone needs to try and experience.
And it is you can play multiplayer? Or...
It's a single player game.
Okay. Okay.
It is a singular experience, all wrapped up in a nice bow. No DLC planned so far. Like, it is a breath of fresh air from frickin' 15 years ago.
Sweet.
Mm.
Oh, that's great. See, so we can get good stuff in between.
From indie studios. This is
Is
their
it an
first
indie
game.
studio?
Yes.
Wow.
Former Ubisoft devs and about 50 people. And I don't know how much it actually costs to make. But there's a bunch of really cool interviews out there. There are a bunch of French people because they're former Ubisoft devs. And pretty much it all started with them trying to hire voice actors for a project while he was working at Ubisoft. He was trying to hire out like voices for some of the characters. And one of those people that like try to do voice acting and everything for a character had this really cool idea for a world's premise. And she became one of the story directors instead. Instead, they ran with her premise of this story that is Expedition 33.
Sweet.
And
Premise
it's
is
just-
original too. Very
Yeah.
I like
very
it.
different.
Look, things are good. Things can be good, guys. Jeez, have a good time.
Oh, absolutely. I'm celebrating this game. Definitely. It's freaking awesome.
Well, speaking of celebrating, let's celebrate all our thinkers and what they're doing this weekend. Starting with Gray Poupée. Amazing. I'm so glad he was ready.
Yeah,
probably
sorry
triple
about that.
muted again.
Stepped away to get coffee right at the wrong moment. Yeah. So I'm enjoying coffee momentarily, but other than that, you know, it's the summer of gray. So yeah, the new show will be launching soon. Look out for that. Other than that, I got nothing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Soon.
Soon.
He said
Okay.
menacingly.
BMO, when's your next stream?
So my next stream is Saturday at 6:30 p.m. PST. I'm going to be playing through Expedition 33 and then probably playing Elden Ring with Cinevere later at night.
Oh yeah, Elden Ring's also doing pretty well, isn't it? It's got a new DLC.
It's not a DLC, actually. It's a standalone game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's its
I
own
didn't even
thing.
know what it was called. Okay.
Yeah, Night Rain. It looks interesting. I don't know if I'll buy it yet, mainly because I'm poor and I'm waiting for a paycheck.
Okay. That's fine. Donate to BMO. Here, this is the right one, the right link. There's BMO. And Charles, what's up with you?
Yes, that
Are
is
you
me.
alive?
I don't know. I'm taking it by day. So
Yeah. Chill
I'll
your
do a
ass.
fill-in stream whenever I'm ready to go.
Yeah. But guys, please keep in mind, Charles still has to deal
It's
with
worse now.
certain
It's
things.
literally
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah. So just go and help out our Charles right now.
Give him an assist.
Yeah, assist. Be area assist with some dollary dues or rands if even rands will work for him, guys. Even
Or
that.
parents, or Mats, or Nineves.
Get
Sorry,
it.
that was a really dumb joke.
I love it though. Zaxxy,
Yes,
who has brought
kid.
most of this audience here, really. Most of my audience is Zax's audience. I don't even know why they hang around me, but I really appreciate it.
Because you're awesome. That's why.
Mm.
Circle of Jerks, Saturday night, 10 p.m. Central. Maybe there'll be a Kitty there
Maybe.
if she
Let's
can
see how
make
it
it. We're it's part 4 of a 4-part series on diving into Hunter J and some of the things he's done and why he's sorry for them and who may or may not be.
He's so sorry.
Yes, so sorry. It's Hunter J has it's been a journey, and we're gonna wrap it up on Saturday night.
I can't miss it.
It's satisfying, so satisfying now that people kind of know what he's apologizing for, and this last part is just sort of his. I mean, he did a poor job defending himself in this, and this is sort of he tries to go for a lesser sentence by telling us all the things that are wrong with him.
Yeah. Okay. A lesser sentence. That's fine. Yeah, that'll
So he
work.
pulls a boogie.
It's no. You actually kind of wish he was lying.
I suffer from major amounts of depression. Okay.
I recommend not watching until dawn. Says that Willis Credia. I'm not familiar.
I don't know who Willis Credia is, but he seems pretty wise.
Credia.
You don't know that
Yeah.
Will guy? Will's based.
Were you just sniffing Daisy's tail? No, that's my hair. I'm sniffing my own tail.
Her own tail. Yes.
Mhm. Oh yeah, I'm also part of this. We are going to stream again in about 2 hours.
Jesus.
So we're gonna continue with the diagram. It's just what we're gonna do.
Heck yeah. Content.
Why not? Because yesterday I could have gone longer, but I actually got so out of it eventually. I was just like I was starting to diagram with like just 2 or 3 words at a time, and I was just like, no, you know what? I'm not putting my all into this discussion with Peterson. So we're gonna do our last Peterson. There's a daisy for you guys. We're gonna do our last Peterson diagram debate thing today, and then I'll have to finish it all by myself. Frankenhooker, directed by
Chuck Tingle.
What?
It sounds like one of his titles.
It does.
I appreciate your assist with the 100J diagram. I think that's
Yeah,
that was pretty cool, actually. Yeah,
that was fun. No, you know
It
what?
was
I couldn't continue without diagramming it. I needed to do it. But you know, it added to my stroke confusion when I saw it in the because it was in my things. I'm like, Hunter
during your
J.
migraine.
Yeah, during my migraine. I was like, what is
Our
this?
brain.
Who's this? Yeah. A recommendation from Charles. Let's recommendation. I think Charles, I decided.
What?
Okay. That that you because you're the box office guy. Okay. Everything you have to give us a recommendation. Charles recommends.
I haven't watched anything good in the last 7 days. I watched
Mobland.
Popeye the Slayer, man, which is not worth
Oh,
a squirt of piss.
If you don't have a recommendation,
It was so good
I
you
have a
pissed?
movie recommendation.
Go on,
What's
Bimo.
your movie recommendation?
Gerbimo?
City Slickers.
Jesus,
Oh.
1993.
Billy Crystal vehicle?
Yeah, let's go.
Anything with Tom
Daniel
Hardy.
Stern?
Watch that.
Yeah, there's a live cow birth in that movie.
Okay.
It's burned into my head.
Well, that's good.
You know what? You know what? In case you haven't seen it, it's currently available to rent on VOD. Sinners. I finally
Oh,
saw
really?
Sinners, and it's
I
need
did
to see
too.
it.
it's
I'm
quite
gonna
good.
do that this weekend.
It is good. Okay,
It's a
I'm
tale of
probably
two
watching
movies.
Yes,
It
it
is two of my
Why?
favorite movies mashed together with just a dusting of a third amazing Ralph Macchio movie. It's great.
All right, I'm
Why are
gonna
you
have
telling
to
me this? What do you
look at
mean?
it.
Ooh,
Sinners.
Why is it
It's
more than
great.
one movie?
It's because
It's
juggling
no,
it's
multiple
very
it's-
different in the first half than it is the second.
Yes.
It's a combination of two of my favorite movies, and then it's got a third movie just tastefully sprinkled on there. It's kind of
I'm
like a
curious to hear what
garnish.
the third one is. There.
I live in a tyrannical patriarchy, so I don't know if I'll be able to watch it unless my husband
Oh,
is convinced to
If you
watch
check check
I
on
live
the
under a rock.
international waters, there it might be floating around.
it. Just take him out on a boat so I can watch it.
international waters.
I was gonna say my uncle.
They're showing it on boats.
Maybe you can get a pirate to take you.
Yep, perhaps. Look at-
Okay, well,
The,
yeah, I'm
the
gonna
the
do that.
main villain in Sinners is played by a guy named Jack O'Connell. Awesome in this. He's great in the film.
Mm.
Irish dude.
Mm.
And he's the star of a series on Amazon called SES Rogue Heroes, which I try to get everyone to watch because it's fantastic. He plays a real life guy, Patty Main, who was one of the founders of the Special Air Service in World War II. And it's awesome. Go watch that. 2 seasons.
Based.
Special Air Service Rogue Heroes.
Right. Okay,
Nice.
guys. Let's get going. And have a good weekend. Well, I'll see you guys, people in chat that are not going to bed. You have 2 hours to do your homework, and then we're gonna be streaming again, doing more Murderbots. This is I don't know. It didn't look as cool. I do like me a Skarsgård though.
Yeah. Thinking of trying that one.
Thanks for getting in my way, Dice. You know, like I could have ignored you. I could have made the executive decision, but I didn't. Okay. Have a nice life, everybody. Subscribe to The Thinkers, and see you guys at 12. Look out for my link.
We now finished thinking for the week. Our minds can finally rest, reflecting on the questions asked, the ones we put to the test. We'll see you next Thursday, same thinker time, same thinker place. Like until the think we are.
Why is this